How old's the husky now?
How old?
Yeah.
4 years.
4 years old,
Yeah,
man.
I got him in 2016, so.
It's crazy how quick it goes by. All of a sudden,
He just turned 4 years old.
You celebrate the 1 year birthday. They get a little cake. You give them a little T-bone steak,
they
whatever.
They grow. They look good though.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's they're all going crazy over him on the Japanese Akita group because like basically it's because he's registered in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It's so limited to like how people have them in the States. So instantly, like they just start talking about it. They're like, oh, what is this person doing? What's this person? What? And everyone's like, oh, his coat is so beautiful, and he's maturing.
That's what when I first came in. That's what I was telling you.
So much faster than a lot of the other dogs.
He just looks good. I'm guessing it's of course the diet you've been feeding him.
Raw, baby.
And the way you take care of him. It's all about how you take care of him.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna I give him a bath every. It's been tough because I don't want anybody grooming him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's too big for the tub at my house now. So I was waiting for Pet Value. Pet Value, send the check. Pet Value is they have stores all over Long Island, and the cool thing about it is you can go there and they have these big granite tubs that you could put the dog in. $10. You wash them yourself.
That's how I used to do it.
So you don't have to fuck with the hair. You don't have to do anything. You're just good to go. You leave all the mess for them.
Yeah, and they take care of it.
Because that was the biggest thing, man. When I used to have to do bath for my Shiba, he sits there and like shakes, but he just stands there like a statue. She would be like running around, dodging me, shit like that.
When it comes to when you start to air dry them, that's when he starts running for me. Mine, when it comes to the water and the soap, he just sits there and lays down and he loves it.
Yeah?
Yeah, when it comes to his, he starts to get scared and he's like, he starts running.
Any erratic noises, he's like, nah, fuck this, I can't do this.
He fights with the vacuum all the time.
Archer loves the blow dryer. He loves the blow dryer. He just lays there. It's nice and warm. He goes, "Ooh, this is kind of nice."
No, when the minute I turn the vacuum on, he starts barking at it, tries to attack it.
That's another story.
He doesn't like the vacuum either. He's he'll kind of give it the me mug. He'll look at it and he'll start like following it around. He'll have a treat in his mouth. It's almost like he picks his shit up as you're going, and he's like, "Yo, don't touch that. That's my toy.
No,
don't touch that." But he's a good boy. He's the podcast dog, and you met him before. And
Love him.
This is what, your second time meeting him?
Yeah, second time.
Socialization, man, has been great with him so far. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
There's like only a couple people that he really doesn't vibe with. And
it's based off of energy.
Lets me know instantly.
Animals are like that. It's all based off of energy.
Dad, I'm about to rip his arm off.
I'm like, yo, he's tasted blood before. His diet's mainly bones and organs.
Straight raw.
Don't fuck with him. He starts getting a hankering. He just starts licking his lips when he looks at a leg.
But they say dogs always, or pets in general, come out to their owners.
And how much better would that be if we had that sense?
Yeah.
That full sense. Because you get that, like we said with Julio, you get that creep vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ignore the creep vibe. When you get that vibe, you just start going,
But he's social and he's just like you. You're very based off of energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So been working with you. Your energy is always high, and that's something great.
Thank you.
So and that your pet carries the same traits. Like my husky always wants to run, very friendly, and always wants to eat, sleeps half the time.
It's just like it.
Yeah, it basically sums up the whole household. So they do say pets come out like their owners. So that's something. I don't know if
I have the calmest Ossskiii in the world.
Yeah, it's calmest Ossskiii in the world, but he also runs. So that's like the side of John that we don't get. John running would be
no cardio.
Not a fucking chance. I'll do cardio. Running's another story.
Yeah, the stairs.
I can't keep up with that guy.
He'll do the stairs, but Archer takes the running for him.
I'll go up a flight of stairs and then sit down.
Definitely.
Yo, man.
Speak to me.
Good to have you coming in,
I
sitting
love it.
down with us.
I appreciate you guys so much for having me.
Come on,
Feels
man.
good.
Listen,
anytime.
Every time we say it, we just want good-ass people, good-ass vibes that have had some great things go on in their life, maybe some crazy things.
Definitely
and I know
good-ass talks.
Like, listen, man, we spoke, when we first started. I mean, we got introduced through Bevs.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of
some good people. Shout out to Fab and Jamal.
Yo, the homies, man, the family.
Definitely.
That's what I tell a lot of people, especially now that I'm assembling my own gym. And John obviously has his own gym, and I'll happily go to John's gym when everything opens back up, and I'll train there, and I'll always support Bevs. Bevs is my business. Bevs, is at least half my income of doing shoots at Bevs.
Definitely supported you, to bring in.
And I love Steve. Steve has always been good to me and graced me with nothing but good vibes at the gym. But people start asking, like, are you going to go to the gym again? You going to go? I'm like, fucking cool. Of course I am. That's just because I have a home gym now doesn't mean, but maybe on a Saturday I don't feel like going there and I can just get a workout at home.
That's the benefits of it.
Yeah.
Now that we face is some days you might be rainy and you're lazy and you don't want to take that drive, or it's snowy and then you just have a nice, beautiful home gym ready to go. So because I'm in the process also of building mine. So it's definitely
you're like building it.
building.
You're doing some gangster shit.
My brother definitely built a squat rack. We built it like we got 2x4s and we put it together.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
So we built our own squat rack. We found a layout online, and we just reinvented it a little bit, and then. We Facebook Marketplace. Let's look for some weights. Let's look for this, and then you try to snatch up the best deal. Mm-hmm. So it's fun. The process is fun, and it means something that especially when you do it from scratch and do it yourself.
Yeah, you get your hands dirty.
Exactly. So it's definitely it's a good thing to have. Of course, when the gym's open, it's a different vibe. The gym is always a different vibe.
Always, yeah. You want to go there. You want to fuck
especially
shit up.
certain gyms. We had this conversation before. There's a couple gyms out there we know that are very good with equipment, but the vibe there is just off, and you never want to step in.
You don't want to fuck with that place.
Exactly. So to me, it's like I just miss my personal gym's vibe, the one that I'm going to on a daily basis. The lights make your muscles look more rounder and more defined. Man. The people that come in say what up to you. That's what I miss. Yeah. And a leg press machine. I'm not gonna lie. That's all.
I tell everybody, man, I change bulbs as I walk through hallways, so this way the lighting is always perfect. Perfect. It silhouettes and drops down.
It makes a big difference. So
we've had plenty of the Bevs family on here. So you want the Bevs vibe, you tune into the Voice and Rizzles.
That's it, man. That's it. And that's really what it is, man. It becomes a family. It's not just a place to go. See, a lot of people that are saying keep the gyms closed, fuck it, gyms aren't needed and whatnot. Even the people that are building their own home gyms that I've seen online say, I'm never going to set foot in a gym again. Okay, but you obviously haven't ever had a really family-like experience. You haven't gone there. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's too much. Like I'll go there on in the evening or something like that, or early in the morning.
Everybody wants to chat.
Everybody wants to dap me up, and I love it though. There's a part of me that
there's a part of dapping, and then there's a part like I'm gonna spend an hour talking to you about a whole.
Listen, man. There's a part of me that really does love it. Like where I go, damn, I'm blessed to have so many people that want to feed off the energy, say what's up, love, all around this and that.
Time is money.
But at the same time, man, it's like. I took my pre-workout an hour and a half ago.
That's what I'm saying. Time is money.
Now what do I have to do? I have to snort it in the bathroom just to get that same effect?
Of course not.
So it's just it's like you said, time is of the essence, and a lot of times, I don't know, but I just those people that are talking shit, saying they're never gonna set foot back in a gym. They've never had that. They've never had that, like, see everybody, dap it. Yo, what's going on? How you look great, this and that. Oh, how's your lift going? You're putting on some fucking size. Or they're the people that don't want to go to Bevs because they're intimidated by it because they stereotype before they even go there.
100%.
That type of shit.
Like, these guys look, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I've had people, I've said it multiple times. I've had people that said, oh, I would never train at Bevs. And I go, why? Why would you never train at Bevs? Oh, well, you got this juice head, this, that. Gives a fuck. Who cares? Who cares what everybody else is doing? That means that you're just focused on everyone else. Yeah, focus on yourself. I look around there. I'll never touch a drug. I don't give a fuck. Like maybe when I'm older, I need TRT, whatever. Like, but for me, it's just not my personal goal.
And listen,
but I see these people and I go, damn, man, that's impressive. Regardless, whatever they're doing, whatever they're taking, whatever it is that their plan or program is, I look at that and I go, shit, I'm impressed right now. Exactly. And I want to get there.
Let's be real. We know so many. I could speak on behalf of myself. I know so many people who are on steroids, right? Mm-hmm. The thing about steroids, now that you brought that up, first of all, that's up to you as a person if you want to do it or not. It shouldn't judge you who you are because, oh, hey, he wants to do stuff. People drink, people snort coke. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People judge, people do everything.
And you can hang out with all these people. Doesn't mean you're going to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't mean this guy wants to do steroids, he's a bad guy. Listen, if that's what he wants to do, let him do it. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole theory on it. And two, we also know a lot of people who are on it and still look like absolute shit.
That's what I was about to say.
Come on. Let's be real. Yeah. Let's be real.
You have 18-year-old kids taking more than the pros do, wondering, why don't I look like you? Well, motherfucker, that's not how it works.
Yeah, so let's always consider that it's not a miracle pill. It's not a miracle drug. It's not a miracle oil-based. It could definitely change your life in a good and a bad way. It has its effects, but listen, if that's what you want to do and that's what you want to do, always love it. You know what I'm saying? You have to give them the respect that now your body is recovering 20 times faster, so that means you have to work 20 times harder than your average person. Your diet has to be always on point. So I salute them. People might see me as a wrong thing, like, hey, listen, listen, if you look good, hats off to you, because like I said, I know a lot of people are on it and on it for years, and they don't even look like they're on it.
No,
so that's a bad thing.
It's picking your poison, so you might as well get something out of it.
100%. You know what I'm saying? So it's
how many people do you guys know that do some shit, do a cycle through, and then they just never do it again, and they fuck their hormones up so bad that they look like dog shit forever, and they just blame it on that. It's like, no, well, you just didn't know what you were doing to begin with, and
you just wanted a shortcut and you didn't follow through. It's more of a marathon.
Realistically, you needed to build that house, build the base level of the house. Too many, like you said, too many young kids jump on shit. Like, I look at it, younger kids than me that have the muscle maturity of 30, 40-year-olds. Way more advanced than I am, and I just look at them. I'm like, man, do you know what you're doing to yourself right now? Give yourself some time.
It takes a toll. It definitely
takes a toll. Eat. How many people? I mean, you train with fucking Dorian. Like, I mean, eat food.
That's a legend.
It's all about the food.
Yeah.
Eat.
It's all about. That's one thing. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Go.
My thing is, and I was talking this to my best friend. I was talking to with Fab the other day. I was like, yo, I wish it was 90% workout, 10% diet. Because we kill ourselves in the gym. We really kill ourselves in the gym. Comes to the diet, you mess up one meal, there goes your gains.
Yeah, there you go, man.
You need the consistency of food has to be crazy.
You know what? For the 18-year-old kids out there listening, thinking, should I run my first cycle? There's nothing wrong with it. However, do it safe, but give yourself some time. When you're going through puberty at that age, you have more testosterone in your system than anybody could possibly inject in their body. You're literally changing your bone structure, changing your facial features. Your whole body is adapting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you put that synthetic in your body, it stops producing the natural, especially at the levels that you're probably going to use.
Exactly.
So if you're stopping your body from going through its natural puberty, you're going to fuck something up. But take advantage of your body's ability to produce those high levels, and you'll get better gains when you're 17 to 20 than you will running your first cycle.
100%.
If you're putting the same type of work and same food in. You know what I mean?
I mean, it correlates to everything. Just enjoy the process. It's hard sometimes, man.
To me,
business, because it could be translated to everything. It could be translated to in the gym stuff. It could be translated to business stuff. How many ups and downs do you experience in the gym? How many ups and downs do you experience in business? You just got to be able to embrace the suck and enjoy the process, whether it's good. The bad times help you appreciate the great times.
100%. Mm-hmm. I mean, my thought on it, it's for the young people watching, and if bodybuilding is a sport you want to do and you want to compete, listen, it's not easy. That's the same goes for fighters. We had the weight cuts I had to go through as a fighter. I tried once to do a bodybuilding show, and I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. You know what I'm saying? So we spoken before. People were telling you it's a chemical warfare. And when it comes to that industry, it's supported to touch that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Supported silently.
Yeah, like we all know all the people we look up to. Even we could talk about pro wrestling, all these big guys that we grew up like, wow, I want to look like him. We all know something was touched.
But the scary thing is when you first start out, you don't.
Exactly.
When you look at them, you're like,
as the year, and you go so hard. But to me, it's enjoy the marathon. My problem behind it, I'm a fat boy at heart. I love to eat, son. This morning I woke up and I was like, yo, I'm having a stuffed cannoli French toast. And I made my own French toast. I made my own cannoli mix. And I woke up, I was like, listen, that's me. So I love to eat. My biggest problem when I was fighting and when I was, have to tracking every macro, going out with my ex-girlfriends or, my friends and, I got to refrain from this. I got to refrain from that. It kills the vibe of living your life. You know what I'm saying?
You become obsessed and not in a healthy way.
Exactly.
That's the scary thing.
So to me, is stay in shape. If you that's how I'm seeing it, because at the end of the day, I do not have the willpower that these great guys have, and I have to give them so much respect because it's not easy to sit there, track every meal, make sure you're getting your meals in, make sure your workouts, make sure this, in the morning you wake up, take this amount of BCAAs or fish oils.
Yeah, you just got to stay, like John can attest to it, you just got to stay the course and everything's got to be somewhat pre-programmed out in a way. There's
exactly.
There has to be a lot of stability to your day. There has to be a lot of
everything has to be around that.
Some people love that. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
I like order like that, though.
I like a little bit of freedom, but at the same time, if I woke up every day going, what am I going to have for lunch? I drive myself crazy.
Exactly.
I know
that's my
problem.
Lunch. That's my problem.
What I mean?
I like to, on the spot, I'm going to have a steak quesadilla today.
Ooh, yeah.
That's me.
See, I'd go
so
crazy
that's my big
trying
problem.
to figure out what I wanted every day. Do I want this or this? I love this, but I want this. If I know what I'm going to have, and if I want a steak quesadilla, fuck yeah, I'm going to have one.
Mm-hmm.
Little things like that.
It's about organizing it and just having it in routine, like you said, and in order. And if it's really something these kids want to do, listen, man, all for it.
Yeah.
Do what you love. That's
Bless
my
up.
theory. That's my
Absolutely.
theory. You know what
Give
I'm
it
saying?
a shot. See if you want to do it or not.
Because regardless, if you're thinking about doing steroids, you're going to do it regardless. At 18,
Yeah.
at 20, at 25, you're going to touch it.
But you got to do it the right way if you're going
So
to.
do not listen to no gym bro who's going to tell you, throw some DECA on test, on trend on this, and 500 that, and then 10 IUs of GA. Do not do that. Make sure there's coaches out there that train, I believe, big bodybuilders. And they'll guide you based off your body, based off your blood work, based off of everything going on. And I think that's the best way.
Don't listen to the guy selling it.
Yeah. Do not listen to the dude has just big arms and shoulders and he's going to tell you, please do this. You want to look at the guy who won titles.
That's
and
oil.
Yeah.
That's something like to consider. Like look at the coach that has athletes under him that all look proportioned, all look symmetrical, and they're all fitting into place.
And they're all alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
And healthy.
That's
And
a
happy.
big issue nowadays.
Big issue, yeah.
That was always a crazy thing to me is how can somebody push something when they don't have a degree in biochem? How are you going to sit there as just somebody? Oh yeah, I've had a couple guys run something like this. What?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
It's a dangerous sport.
You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You have a liberal arts degree. You didn't even go to college. You barely even finished high school. You're going to tell somebody how to put chemicals in their body?
Yeah, read forums online and they listen to this. You
just finished your first bikini show. What are you doing? I'm not running 700 milligrams of test.
That was that dude up in Massachusetts, right? Wasn't Boston Lloyd? He talked about all that shit that he was doing. That was some scary shit. I watched that video. You ever see that guy, Boston Lloyd?
No, the name's familiar though.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes I think that made his name just talking shit about people and whatever.
That's about right.
I don't have anything against him. He's never said anything about me yet. Now maybe he will. I don't really give a fuck. But yeah, he's talked shit about Meadows. He's talked shit about all the guys. But he did a full documentary on him taking shit and all this, like his own YouTube series of just him taking stuff and whatnot.
Was this Generation Iron guy?
Nah, fucking scary though. Like what he was doing to his body and what they.
It is a scary thing.
And somebody that I know knows the camera guy that was doing that stuff. And from what he said on the inside, the guy that I know was telling him, he's like, you don't understand how fucking crazy what he was doing was. How much shit he was pumping into his body, how much stuff. He's like, you're lucky he didn't just drop in front of you and at the gym and stuff like that. It's just, if you're gonna do something, here's my validation and standpoint on it. If you're gonna do something, buy a dog, start a business, buy a car, run something in your internal self body, know what you're putting into your body, know the research behind it, know what you're doing and what you're getting yourself into. Before I got the dog, the amount of questions and things that I asked, what are they like? Can I have it around younger kids? Because I expect to have a family in the next 10 years and my man Kenji is still going to be with me. Like, I just want to know everything, all possible circumstances before I do anything, because if I don't and something pops up, I'm going to look like an asshole because I didn't do my research.
No, definitely. Now that's with anything. You need to look into everything. You need to know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Seth Feroce. He's a bodybuilder.
Yeah. I actually enjoy his podcast, man.
I love that guy,
He's a good dude.
Him and his boy with the mustache.
Yeah, but what Seth is his concept on it was great. He's like, listen, if you want to fucking shoot steroids, fucking shoot it. Like,
do your thing.
But just know what you're doing, know what you're researching, and know it's gonna take a toll on you.
Yeah.
He was like, know when it's time to do blood work, and you're in the last 2-3 weeks of your show, and you have to take all these bunch of shit, know your blood work is gonna come back trash. But this is something you want to do, and you want to live with, so live with it. Do not sit there and be like, well, this fucking person is saying that I'm a juice head. Well, that fucking person is a cokehead. And it's the same fucking thing. They're both, you know what I'm saying?
They're right.
Literally, that's and
They're right.
And that's what I tell my friends. I'm like, dude, you spend fucking $300 on bottles a day on a weekend, even more, sometimes $5,000 to go on a VIP to just see a couple chicks. This man wants to spend it on a fucking cycle to look good. Hey, kudos to him. Like,
and it's a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's like
it's a lot cheaper.
Don't get me started on bottle service and how we rip off that shit.
So that's me. Like you should have a plan, and if it's part of your plans, look into your shit, know what you're doing, take the risk, higher reward. That's part of the game. If you're still doubting yourself and you're scared, do not do it.
And don't abuse it.
Exactly. To me, that's when people ask me about it. Literally. It's an abuse of steroids. When people die or someone gets it, he abused the medicine, or he abused whatever he took.
That was like the Dallas shit, man.
If you abuse sugar, you're getting fat and diabetes. You know what I'm saying? If you abuse coke, you're gonna overdose and die. If you abuse heroin, you're gonna overdose and die.
If you abuse Tylenol, you're gonna die.
Exactly. Anything too much of everything is bad. Let's be real. Too much of fruit is bad. And that's from nature.
Isn't it if you eat too many carrots, you turn orange?
Imagine.
Too many carrot. What is it? Beta? Is it beta carotene?
Yeah, it's
No,
like that.
it's something like I'm gonna sound like an asshole because if it's not, I sound carrots and carotene.
It's I think it's when you use the
Keratin.
bathroom with the color changes, right? When you do the number two.
That's the reason flamingos are pink, because all the shrimp they eat.
That he is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
For real?
It's some pigment in the food where because
Something
that's
like
all
that.
they're eating. It changes their
That's
other
dope.
pigments.
I didn't. Well, I was this old today to learn something new.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh shit, you young.
You got time.
I'm about to be
Yeah.
29. My old ass,
God bless.
my knee and my hamstring been bothering me the last
Listen,
couple
man,
days.
mine
man.
hurt. Mine hurt too. Trust me. Sometimes I can't sleep.
Bro.
Shoulders, everything.
I'm
Bro,
not getting
I-
into this one.
Yeah, you young as hell. Ask him how old he is.
How old are you?
Little 24.
Oh, God bless.
Little baby boy.
Big shoulders, big traps, there, brother. For a 24-year-old, you look good, man.
And that voice.
Yeah, I thought he was the oldest one.
What is he like? He got. It's like Bad Boys. He's
Yeah,
got to be at least
30,
35, right?
yeah,
30.
yeah.
You at least 30.
When he came for the date, yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. I had to. I don't know what it was, man. The assault bike or something. I do my hamstring. So I did the assault bike hard. And from what I read afterwards, of course, this is the one thing I didn't do research on because I just got excited when the bike came. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna hammer this shit out. Every time I did it, the couple times I did hit on the air bike, the Echo bike from Rogue, I literally felt just so depleted. I needed to go lay down. I was so fucking torched. I did 10 rounds of hit. I did 20 seconds on, 30 seconds off.
Nice.
Great. But by the time I was finished with it, the quad pump that I had and the hamstring pump and just everything, I was just so tired. I actually went to sleep and woke up like delirious 20 minutes later. It was just fucking crazy.
Yeah, I love those though.
And I read that the air bikes, if you've never done them before, you got to ease into them because it fries your CNS, your central nervous system, because there's so much going on between legs, cardio,
Arms.
just everything at the same time, and that it just overloads your system. So I did it a couple times, and all of a sudden my knees. I don't have problems with my knees. I was a catcher. I squat all the time, and back years ago I was squatting all the time, and
Deadlifting all the time.
yeah, man. Like I would wear knee savers, like the knee sleeves when I squat, but just because it kept my knees warm, not because I really needed it for anything that it was. All of a sudden, my right knee starts clicking, and then my left knee starts really making like every time I would go to squat down, I would just get pain.
That happens to me all the time.
So
I'm
you're
facing
too
that.
young as hell.
No,
You're too
but
young
it's.
as
I
having
think
that.
it was going through the fighting. When I used to fight, the constant strenuous running
Okay.
outside. I feel like running outside took a toll on it. Running
Yeah,
on
on the
actual
ground.
That's
concrete,
the worst thing in
yeah.
the world for you.
Yeah, I think now I'm starting to see it. The constant, running.
Yeah, the pounding.
I played soccer also most of my life, so it was a lot of strenuous on the knee. So now I tend to feel it more like my IT bands. So
Yeah.
I haven't did a leg day in like maybe 4 months. Even if I do, I'm probably lightly body weight lunges just because it came to a point I couldn't squat.
Yeah,
I couldn't squat because I'd hear my knees. My knees click on a daily now.
yeah.
So I tried to take some time off leg press. 2 years ago, 15 plates, throw it on there.
Throw it
You know
on
what I'm
there, fuck
saying?
it.
Let's do it. Now it's just like I'll stick to 3. Slow and squeeze just to
Yeah.
make sure I'm. Because at that time we're putting so much. It's not the muscle sometimes; it's the joints. You're putting so much stress on the joints and everything. It tends to fall apart. And if I'm going through this right now at 26, imagine when I'm like 40
Yeah, 20 years from now, what the fuck's it gonna be like?
or 50, 60 now. So
Yeah.
it's gonna.
That's why proper training's so important, though. Because
That's literally all.
your body wants to naturally load the joints up.
Mhm.
So if you're trying to load the muscle, it's saying, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's imbalance is going to be created.
Yeah, I still got. I think I got to go to Performax still. I was talking to him. He does blading and shit like that. I don't know a lot of people that do blading.
I know one. I was
Good for
just
scar
there.
tissue.
Who?
Good for scar tissue, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, but I think my legs, my quads are still super tight. So I went to Derlin yesterday.
Yes.
Derlin worked out my hamstrings. He did ART on them, worked out my hamstrings, and then they did the which I hadn't seen since I went down to Florida where I was filming Flex,
Mm-hmm.
and he had it done by his guy. The what the fuck's it called? Ultrasound.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do the ultrasound machine to
Yes.
break up tissue that's like or anything that's kind of stuck onto the muscle tissue.
Mhm.
Fucking wild, dude. They rub this little metal circle thing over your muscle, and you feel it. It's like gritty.
Gritty.
And
I
then
know what you're talking
Yeah.
It's like almost. And he told me it's
I've
like
done it a couple times with him.
it's
I
like
was just at one right now.
it's like ironing.
Mhm.
It's like ironing out the muscle.
muscle, and
So-
you're separating them.
Yeah. So
That's what it.
So I felt it. He did that, and then it felt good. And then my boy Anthony came over yesterday, who we had on it. He just became a doctor and he's a PT. He came over and stretched me out, stretched my shoulder out because my shoulder makes some noise and everything like that. And he said, dude, even Derlin said, if this was a meniscus tear or something like that. He just goes, you're super tight.
That's all it is.
He watched me on the bike. He said, no, he's like, you're good. He's like, instead of you taking a rest and not doing the bike, you should be doing the bike.
Yeah.
Like, just do it lightly because you want to stay in that motion. Back when you get an injury and doctors and everything would say,
take some time off. That's
actually worse for you. They're more in the mindset of active therapy for healing yourself. So today I woke up, feels pretty good. Feels a lot better. Little tight still. Anytime I'd straighten my leg out, across the back right side of my left leg, I'd get tightness. Almost like stretching a rubber band too far and it just won't go any further. So it feels a lot better today. I'm going to stretch out again. I'm going to do the bike when I get home in a little bit. Maybe train some arms. Good excuse to just keep hitting arms.
Definitely. I was just at his name is Dr. I call him Louis Valentine.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's he has a spot over here in Herrick's. And he does the same thing, cupping.
I've never had cupping done. Have you guys?
No, I haven't.
I've done it, and it was like one of the best things I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
It freaks me out. The circles that are left behind freak me
and
the
it
fuck
shows
out.
you when the circle is very dark, shows you that muscle is very tense and that muscle is compacted. So that muscle needs to be worked on. That's when it sometimes it has to be a light color. The light color means that the muscles are separated and everything is fine. When the darker it is, the more problems you have there. So one time I had a problem. I don't know, during the quarantine, I decided all of a sudden I got the weights and I decided every day I'm going to do 50 shrugs. Just 50 reps. I'll throw 3 plates on there. And I was like, you know what? I just want big shrugs.
My man was just building the Himalayas on his shoulders.
Literally, out of nowhere. Do not try that at home. Out of nowhere. I just got up one day. I was like, yo, I'm going to start doing shrugs because I want my shrugs to get pumped, right? All of a sudden, I think I just hurt myself on the right one. And when I went to do the cupping, you see that it was so dark on this side. And that was the side that I was having the pain. It was like it was purple for like a good week and a half. So I go there every week, once a week, touch up on my hips, because now I'm starting to play soccer again. And my body mechanics.
My man getting limber.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And then I'm doing little, boxing sessions in between, working on my hands just to keep them there. So in my head, it's like, all right, I want to stay loose. So I'm taking some time off, you could say, bodybuilding. Yeah. Just to stay.
You were telling me you're going to probably do it at the end of the year.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? When stuff open up again, it's a more vibe when it comes to that. You look forward to something.
Isn't that tough, man, to say that when things open back up again?
It's crazy.
Honestly, my whole thing about this.
What we say before? January.
January.
Didn't I kind of tell you this?
Yeah.
Didn't I give you an inside scoop when we first started shooting together?
When it first happened, I knew something was up. For the world to close up, for the whole world to close.
When they shut shit down.
It's real.
I knew it was about to get interesting.
And no vaccine comes overnight.
But here's the issue, man.
You need testing and everything.
Even with a vaccine, there's no technical vaccine. The flu vaccine isn't a vaccine. It just gives you a dead virus from the flu virus of that strain. They're gonna push this to be an every year thing. So if you're really that concerned about making a vaccine, what's it gonna do? You're gonna give the population the virus anyway in some form, and then just wait and see, and then that's gonna be your miracle to getting everything back open. It's fucking idiotic. And like we've said multiple times, the virus is real. It's scary in a lot of circumstances and instances, but at the same time, you can't just keep things closed down. And is what. Don't get me wrong, I'm the least scared person in a lot of ways. Like John's way less scared than I am. He's fucking out there. I said licking doorknobs and shit. He's like, give it to me now.
Kenji Jr. Let me get this over with.
But there has to be, you look on the news, and I'm around a couple of different people now the last week. I've been at 2 shoots. I've been here, I've been there. Podcasts I'm not really worried about anyway, because the people that we're asking in, I know are haven't really been anyway, anything like that. But you start the news still gets you. You almost you hear something or you read an article, and I'm not trying to watch the news. I'll just be scrolling through the news app on my iPhone, and you'll see cases are skyrocketing. What's going on? And you kind of it catches you off guard a little bit to read something like that, and you sit there and kind of go, should I be a little bit more concerned? Should I be a little more reserved again? And then that other side of your brain just goes, dude, fuck it.
When it comes to that, I just think about my parents.
That's why I'm thinking about grandma and my mom. Otherwise, dude, I'd be out there licking doorknobs
we're young.
with John.
Yeah. We're young, so we know it really won't have a crazy effect on us. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this whole quarantine thing, do I think this thing
You can tilt that guy down, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
hit that.
do
Yeah,
I-
there you go, baby.
fire. So my thing is, I was like, all right, I'm taking full advantage of this quarantine. So some people are just using it as like, oh, blah, 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 this pandemic, garbage. Well, of course it's garbage. But what are we going to do, sit and cry? You know, let's sit.
I'd say about 90% of it garbage.
Yeah,
10% of it's real.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's a warfare between China and America and all these theories that are popping up, or Bill Gates and his 5G, listen, bro, at the end of the day, let's make the best out of it for ourselves. So I've been just taking full advantage. And am I loving it? Of course, because one thing we never had, especially as New Yorkers, let's be real, is time. And now we have nothing
we're
but
always
time.
Going, man.
We have no time. So this gave you time.
Yeah.
So what's your fucking excuse now?
Well, that's
You
the
know what I'm
funniest
saying?
thing.
Yeah, literally.
As soon as this ends, people doing the same thing. All you had was time. The
You
past
had
4
nothing
months.
but time. And it's probably, like we said, going to drag till January.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I think it's going to be done in November. 2 weeks
I said
after
that to you.
2 weeks after the election, everything's looking great. What a coincidence!
Yeah.
And then,
think so?
And then I really think
Yeah,
Jim's
man.
going to be open in January, though. I think they're going to jerk us around until
That's
then.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, hopefully it opens up in November, but supposedly the second wave, all this talk.
It's really a shame because I know guys like Noah who really can't hold on any longer. Siege Athletics.
Mhm.
I mean, he's really in some shit, and I think he was just doing construction and whatnot and this and that. I know Profit. Profit was just started this huge renovation across the street for a youth program for indoor track and turf and stuff like that. You know, she's really busting her ass out there. And John, obviously,
There's a ton of little places going up. They're done. You know, my place is small. I'm fortunate enough to be able where we can keep it running, even though the government do a fucking thing for us. Not that we can keep it running, but we can, skate through it. This will be all right. But it's rough. It sucks. And
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
the
know what you're
overhead.
going to open back up into.
it's the overhead.
Definitely, I run a catering hall, and I seen the weddings that got canceled, everything that goes, the losses. I mean, what can we do but sigh? But to all business owners, I think they should just not give up on the goal. That's how I see it. I mean, of course, it's gonna be suck for right now, but push through it, scrape up as much as you want, try to catch a loan as much as you can to let your vision still stick through. That's how I see it. Instead of being like, nah, I can't do this no more, and I'm just closing the whole thing down. I feel like it's just like you said, a couple months, and let's all pray November. Let's all pray for January, and this ends.
Listen, man, I'm praying for September.
Yeah, so
I have a
let's
feeling-
pray for tomorrow.
I have
you
a
know
feeling,
what I'm saying?
I have a feeling they're going to do the same thing with the Olympia as well as they did with the Arnold. I think it's just going to be media and competitors, no spectators. I don't think they're going to allow.
They're doing that
anybody
with
there.
a lot of sports. I'm a big soccer fan, so I'm always watching the Premier League, and the back no fans. You know, they keep them social distance. It's so weird.
It's
but
weird listening to a game without fans.
Literally, and they put the fake fan voice. It's
Oh,
great,
God, it's
but it's so crazy how on point they are. Like when the ball goes out, wow, I'm like, wait, bro, how good are these people? Like, shout out to technology.
I saw a little video of it was a Japanese baseball game, and they had put a bunch of stuffed animals in the stands.
Oh God.
Oh wow, even good.
So on the cameras, you're lucky to see a ton of character stuffed animals.
But
You hit
it's,
a home run, you knock one of the elephants' heads off. Sitting out there, it's like, damn. You
so
hit-
it's a case to me that, you know, us humans are bigger than, you know, and we're more important than what's going on. So I feel like it's good to be quarantined because it's all about our safety, our parents' safety. We could live through it, bro. I really believe we could live through it. We're young guys, testosterone's booming. Our parents are getting older. So that's where the stress factor comes in. Other than that, it's going to end.
I mean, it has to.
It has
Yeah.
to.
Listen,
you
man,
know?
how many flu epidemics have there been, or
Been so
pandemics?
much.
So many.
This-
Spanish flu. You see, they posted that dude that ate the rat. It was a marmot. My boy goes, I didn't even know what a fucking marmot is. He's like, what is it, like a big ass squirrel? I said, yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
Dude ate. Did you see this?
No, I didn't see
Dude
it,
in
but I guess
China-
he's hungry.
Dude in China ate a marmot, and now the Black Plague, the fucking Black Death.
Oh, that's the new one that's coming out. Yeah, I heard about
The
that.
new old
like
one.
it's like it's a Jordan shoe.
Yeah.
That's a new one that's gonna release next
It's
month,
about
right?
to drop.
Where's the trailer?
What happened to the Murder Hornets? Remember there was supposed
Murder
to be
Hornet. Yeah, Murder Hornet was in.
Yo,
what, May?
2020's been what a fucking year. I'm loving it, bro. To me, listen,
I want to skate through it, man. I'm over it.
shit.
I just-
I'm actually loving it. I wanted to continue.
You wanna
get
continue?
as much knowledge as I can. So 2021, I could look back and thank 2020 for everything.
For being such a shit show.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you took full advantage of 2020.
well, the end of 2020 is gonna be good for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
September.
September.
Yeah,
Oh, that-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
What were you gonna say, John?
I was gonna say 2020 is like the information you read at 3 a.m, where it's all this info,
Yeah, on the YouTube.
but you're never gonna fucking use it.
I seen that post of the Black Plague you were talking about on World Star. And then I think it was Logic, Boss Logic. He comments, and he was the most liked. And his comment was, "Sounds like 2020."
Yeah, it is.
We
but
lost,
you know what?
Lost Kobe in
else?
2020. Lost Pop Smoke in 2020. And like
But listen, it comes down to the media as well, because there's a handful of cases of the Black Plague every single year. They don't tell you that with the article.
there's a lot we don't know.
There's a lot we don't know. They don't tell you that they have constant cases of that every year. There's a handful of people that get it, and especially third world countries, China. China just gotta stop eating shit. Stop eating random shit. My boy was telling me, he's like, yo, we gotta just build a burrito stand and a cheeseburger stand over there. Stop eating foreign shit. Like, if it looks like it's dirty, don't eat it.
I just want to know who the hell wants to eat an aardvark. Like, it's like,
yo, listen, aardvark with the right grill marks, son, with the Ossskiii touch.
It's a little Brazilian steakhouse seasoning. Woo!
Churrascaria.
Yeah, let me get that, man. Slice them up for me. I'll keep giving you the green light to come back.
Sir, would you like the steak or the aardvark? Yo, I'm gonna be real. The aardvark with the basil and lime seasoning sounds pretty good right now.
But you see that on the menu, you got to try it.
Yeah,
now, hold on a second.
I'll take 2 bats today. Fry them up, please.
Well, when
Is
the
that the Bruce
UFO
Wayne?
thing, when the UFO thing came out in April, I saw a meme. It was UFO landing in China, and people looking and going, I don't know what that tastes like.
The internet is a funny place.
Don't
bro.
start that shit.
That skin looks kind of rough. We could fry that shit
Yeah,
up,
we
though.
could,
They try to fry everything up over there.
It's insane. It's insane. It's not just there. It's around the world. Like, I have a couple of friends who live in El Salvador, and they told me, one of them told me to eat armadillos. Pretty odd.
Well,
They eat raccoons. Pretty
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah.
But supposedly their raccoons do not eat garbage like the raccoons here.
obviously you've
Well,
never
probably farmed.
Obviously you've never been to Alabama, because motherfuckers eat roadkill down south. My mom had.
Whoa, you
my
just
mom
caught me off guard.
Wait. My mom dated this dude for a while. Okay. He was like a stepfather to me because he was around for like 7 or 8 years. He was an okay guy. He sucked at the end. Fuck you. But anyway, his ex-girlfriend, they used to make fun. Like, my mom used to make fun of him, and he used to make jokes too. But you could tell he kind of like, you know when you joke with somebody about their past, they kind of get hurt.
Low key.
He went to go visit her parents one time, and her brothers were peeling roadkill off the road down south and eating it, like grilling it up back at the house. Yeah, that's a signal to fucking run.
Yeah. No, that's suspect.
What?
That's suspect. When I first moved to Egypt, they ate pigeons.
Are the pigeons dirty like here?
No, that was the thing. So when people come tell me, at first I was like, oh, hell no, you're not catching me eating a damn pigeon.
All of a sudden,
The pigeon over there are really raised differently. They're fed properly. It's not the New York City pigeon. But in my head, I was thinking, like, what if an Egyptian comes out here and he sees a whole pigeon on the street?
just grabs it by the neck, rips its head off.
But the meat is very juicy. That's one thing I gotta say.
That's what I was
Very
gonna
juicy meat, very flavorful. It's very rich. It's a very known street dish. At first, I was like, I'm not touching it. One day, my parents disguised it to me as if it was a chicken.
Oh, they did you dirty.
And I ate the whole pigeon. After I'm done, my father was like, that was pigeon. I
Yo,
was like,
yeah.
no way.
Omar sitting there with the foot, sucking it clean.
True New Yorker. Eating all my pigeons.
using the foot as a toothpick. That was.
Listen,
Flicks it afterwards. That was good.
If you get an opportunity to try pigeon one day, and if it's done by the right person, go for it.
Well, that's like
I've heard it's delicious.
It's amazing.
That's like Bear Burger, man. Bear Burger used to have ostrich burgers. They used to have a lot of. They used to be really good. When Bear Burger first came out, you basically build your own wild game burger. So they had ostrich, they had wild boar, they had elk meat. Unbelievable.
I love elk.
I love elk too.
delicious.
Venison.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I never was open for venison. Tried it here.
And then every time
delicious.
Omar drives past Bambi, he's like,
as I see them sometimes out
like,
here, you see them out
damn.
here.
Yeah.
Because I used to work in Port Washington.
it's
over
like
there.
salivating.
You see them run across the street sometimes.
Let's
And in
speed
my
up
head,
real
I'm like,
quick.
roadkill, roadkill. I can't blame them, man. If it's a roadkill deer, listen, man, I'm taking it.
That venison mine.
But if it's fresh.
If it's fresh, if it's just hit, I'm taking it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Nah, man, that meat tainted. It was fearful right before.
Yeah, it tasted pretty good.
Side note on deers. They are so fucking annoying. They're like dumb forest horses. Like they come out, they stand there and they stare in the middle of the road. Bro,
Move.
You don't see shit.
Move.
We have headlights. We got trucks with LED big ass bulbs. You really think that this is something that you should be standing in front of?
I went to Montana. I did a quick 6-day trip to Yellowstone.
I heard Montana's dope.
Bro, listen, I'm a city boy. I grew up in Queens, New York. The last thing you're going to catch me is in Montana. That's the last thing you'll catch me. For some reason, growing up, I just used to remember in our textbooks, you see the the little the pictures of Montana. Oh, in your social study textbooks, this is Yellowstone. So I always wanted to go to Yellowstone. So I decided to take a trip to Montana. And then Yellowstone is basically such a huge park. It's split between Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. So I got the opportunity to see all 3 different states. First of all, I recommend it to anybody.
Yellowstone's a fire.
Oh my God. I first of all, I rented a Hellcat. So we took that.
You rented a Hellcat?
Yeah. So
you drove to Montana?
No, I took a flight to Minneapolis, and then from Minneapolis you arrive to so from there I rented a Hellcat because speed limit is 80. That's one. But the amount of bison you see on the road that just pop out of nowhere,
I don't give a shit.
If you're gonna speak about deer, and they don't give a shit.
They big as hell.
And if you hit those, you're probably getting tossed up, not them.
Dude, belt and everything. The whole seat's coming out of the car.
Literally. But to me, like, that's when I started realizing those animals, sometimes they have no chill. A bunch of deer would jump. What's the big boys called with the pointers? Damn, it's not elk. A moose.
Moose?
Yeah, you see moose everywhere.
Moose are they
and
they're
pretty
talking about them like
big,
that? Is it meese?
And they're big, and they're big.
Dude.
And you see them wolves. I saw bald eagles.
Coyotes are
everywhere.
Did you guys see the video of what was it? It was a bison getting taken down by a bear in Yellowstone.
Oh,
No.
man.
And everyone's just sitting there watching. And
I saw a black bear and its cubs.
This bear is running across the bridge.
No, I was standing there and
Oh, you're saying you actually saw them?
I
in
was
person.
driving.
Oh.
I was driving through to get back to my Airbnb, and I seen a couple people standing, and all the photographers that were out with all the expensive. What's going on? I get close, and it's a whole black bear and 4 cubs.
Not somewhere you want to be.
Not yeah, but they don't bother you. You know,
No,
you get your bear spray as long as it's not a grizzly. That's all that matters. If to them, they don't like human flesh, so they're not eating you. They're just doing it out of protection.
Black bears like berries and shit. It's the grizzlies you got to
honeys, but that even grizzlies won't eat you. They'll just beat you. They'll think you're there to attack them. So that's why
I saw the Revenant. I saw what it did to Leo.
Yeah.
He didn't play dead properly.
He didn't play dead
and
properly.
it's the Revenant. He needed to win an Oscar, so he had to fake that whole shit. Let's be real. Man slept in a damn horse, bro. It does not get worse than that. If you're sleeping in a horse, you're a legend.
He was eating raw fish on set, just ripping them in half. Like actually, the videos of him eating
sushi.
Yeah, I don't know how clean that sushi was.
Listen, man, if I'm catching my boy caught a bluefin tuna the other day. He went out to Montauk and he caught a big bluefin tuna. That's a rare catch.
Yeah.
Listen, if I was with him, I'm scraping that bad boy flesh.
Absolutely.
Tuna when it's raw.
Giving the Ossskiii.
Give it a little bit of garlic, sesame seeds, some salt and pepper. You're set.
Yeah.
You could eat that.
Sesame oil.
Him eating the fish is not as bad as him living in a damn horse. I would rather get beat up by a freaking bear than live in a damn horse. The way that he had that whole setup, it was insane.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say
he won an Oscar for it finally.
Finally,
he had to go through all that.
Let's just let's take this moment to say that he should have gotten the Oscar for Inception.
That was an awesome movie. It's so good that I had to watch it 6 times just to get what the point of it was.
Bro, Inception wild.
Because I didn't get it the first 2 times.
It makes you wonder reality and what it actually means and dream states and whatnot.
It's a great movie.
Unbelievable flick.
But I still the first 2 times didn't grasp the point and the moral of the movie. Because sometimes there's subliminals and morals behind every movie. So to me, I was like, you know what? I need to watch it a few times and I'm just in love with that movie.
You got to pull the Nick Infinity War and Endgame trick, which you just watch each one 50 million times, and then you get it eventually.
You get it
eventually.
Marvel gets confusing too, especially after the 10,000 drops.
Dude, I just get amped. That's what I used to use as my fuel for leg day and shit.
Yeah, you're saying that.
I used to watch Thanos just fuck everybody up. I used to just watch him just do his thing. I was like, damn, man, I got to get into the gym now. Now I could just jump through my ceiling. Right when the rackets are, I just jump through the ceiling and I'm just in the gym.
Fire pole installed.
That's it, man.
Yeah, no, that definitely Thanos was one big man.
I want to do Yellowstone, but Yellowstone I heard is like about to blow. You ever heard that?
Because they got volcanoes.
They have a super volcano.
Just because it's 2020.
Basically, but they've been saying it for years. There's a super volcano underneath Yellowstone that if it blows, first off, it's gonna fuck up everything around it.
I mean, the Grand Prismatic is a part of it's part volcano, you could say. You ever seen the Grand Prismatic?
Is that the geysers?
The geysers is just water shooting out the floor.
Yeah, but that's from the geothermal.
That's pushing it out, and it's insane when you're standing in front of it.
You said Grand Prismatic?
The Grand Prismatic, I have a picture of it. I'll probably show you guys when probably should show it to the camera right now as we speak. It's basically made. Yeah, you could look it up.
Prismatic Spring.
Yeah, so I'll show you the picture I took.
It's a geothermal lake.
And it's insane. You first of all from the
I've seen that.
From the active bacteria.
So are they amplifying those colors, or it looks like that vibrant in person?
I'll show it to you right now. Here it is.
Oh, that's
crazy.
That's a sick shot, man.
And that's an iPhone 6, bro. in case y'all see something, that's an iPhone 6.
My man over here with the photo skills.
That's literally an iPhone 6. So it's insane how it was. And this was also another picture of it.
That's crazy.
And you touch that water, that's actually water. And it's the bacteria is so active,
they have some
it statics you.
Oh,
so it gives you an electric shock.
What the fuck is going on over here?
That's how it looks from up top. So you would be perfect for Montana, by the way.
That'd be dope.
You with your drone, because the people that went there, I felt like they all worked for National Geographic.
I don't know if you're allowed to use. I don't think you're allowed to use a drone somewhere like that.
I think
wildlife.
I mean, as long as you're not. I mean, if you get hit by an eagle, listen, you got something for you to watch.
Did you see Super Troopers, the latest one?
I used to love. Oh no, the latest one, no.
The latest one, they find a bunch of illegal guns, and they're like AK-47s, and they go. Farva goes, "Hey, I bet I can hit that bird." They go, "It's a bald eagle." He goes, "Get a wig, Baldy." He starts popping off. He said, "You're gonna go to hell, man." Can you use a drone in Yellow?
You would have so much fun.
I would, man. I don't use my drone enough. I brought it the other day to my shoot.
I feel like it's a thing.
No drones in Yellowstone.
Oh,
the National Park Service banned recreational drone use in national parks in 2014. So it's been a minute.
That's not recreational. Your business.
This means that area visitors are prohibited from using drones once they enter the park gate. I'm telling you, it's because of the wildlife. Because you could be flying that fucking thing over that geothermal lake, and sometimes the drones just drop, man. I've seen a lot of shit where they just drop. Mm-hmm. And could you imagine you wouldn't be able to get it, and how much shit that would fuck up? Just a random plastic, metal, all that shit just popping into a lake like that. And then, like I said, the other thing is wildlife. When I shot that documentary in Colorado for Under Armour, I was doing a lot of the drone work, and my drone was out about 2.5 miles from where I was.
Pretty far.
Dude, it was insane. And we were up all the way up on this mountain, and then we were around a lake, and the trees, I got to show you the video. The trees
you showed it to me, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Under Armour.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So the trees were just perfect, but that thing could have dropped like that, or it could have hit a bird, or it could have fucked something up, and then I would never see the drone again. So I could understand why a lot of places ban stuff like that, and not everybody is responsible. A lot of people will kind of just be like, fuck it. Yeah. If I can't see the drone, whatever. You have to have that drone within visual line sight at all times. A lot of amateur people don't give a shit. That's the same people that ruined it for a lot of us because they were flying the drones on the airport, next to the airport tarmac when drones first came out. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Oh, it's a cool video. I'll get a lot of views on YouTube. What are you crazy?
You're on the no-fly list now.
You're fucking it up for everybody. You have a drone next to planes with hundreds of passengers on it, and you're just gonna fly the drone next to it. What if it gives off a different type of interference? What if it gets sucked into one of the jet engines and it blows the plane up?
Yeah, people don't think outside the box, bro.
The people at the TSA, they're thinking, what if there's something attached to it?
Yeah.
You're flying it next to a plane.
People are definitely not thinking like outside the box. They only just think what's for the good now, what's for the best now. Oh, let me just do this. Like you said, they don't think, all right, there's a consequence, there's a cause and effect.
Instant gratification, man.
Yeah, they just like
we said last time. It's kids, people who haven't been beaten before.
Let's do it
people
for the
viewers. People who haven't had their parents lay a hand on them.
Let's do it for the viewers.
And they sit over there and they don't like being told no. Like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, I'm allowed to do whatever the fuck I want. No, man, there's rules for everything you do.
No, 100%.
Can't be just doing
100%. 100%.
I gotta go to Jesus Christ, fucking iced coffee. I gotta go to Montana. There's a lot of places I'd like to go.
Yosemite should be on the bucket list.
Yeah.
Montana and Washington have a lot of great views. So to me, I'm more of I like hiking. I like taking time off to do stuff like that. You know, take a nice hike, hit the wilderness, just clear up your mind.
Banff is crazy. Have you seen Banff?
But no, I haven't seen Banff.
We should take a trip to Banff. I'll bring my wolf. I'll bring the Kenji. You bring your wolf.
Oh,
they'll protect us against real wolves.
I did Arizona too. I did the Grand Canyon.
That's sick.
That's
I
cool.
love the Grand Canyon. And my next stop in the Grand Canyon, I want to do some spot called Havasupai.
Haven't heard of it.
Havasupai is a little area in the canyons, right? Where there's a waterfall that you have to take a 10-mile hike for. So that's 10 miles. So a lot of people camp out.
In Arizona.
Yeah, because we all know walking a mile, do cardio. That's my cardio too.
Yeah, there you go.
A mile is like 20 minutes.
I walk him a mile. I walk him a mile in the morning usually because it's one lap around my development.
Yeah.
So I'll just walk him a mile because it gets him active for the day. He'll go to the bathroom every 10 feet because he wants to mark everything.
Because it's a 10-mile hike going and a 10-mile hike coming down. So what you do is you take that 10-mile hike and it takes you to, if you look it up, Ossskiii, and it takes you to this beautiful fall in the middle of a red mountain that's light blue water. But it's so packed that people want to get there that you need to reserve it a year ahead.
Probably not now,
Wow.
though. You could probably just show up tomorrow.
That's as social distancing as you can.
Damn, that shit's beautiful.
You look at that. Look at that. So to get in there, you need a
Roadtrippers.com. Just send the check.
I'm telling you.
Roadtrippers.com. Just holding it down, telling us what we should and where we should be going. Yeah, that shit is beautiful, man.
Stuff like that would, take the pup.
Havasu Falls. Yeah, but
that's how you pronounce it?
Havasu?
Havasu. I said Ossskiii because I don't know. That's how I thought it was. It
Uh-huh.
probably Havasu. Ossskiii is probably the Indian tribe that they named it the Havasu Falls after.
Yeah, Havasu.
Yeah, Havasu.
A reservoir and recreational site on the Colorado River between Arizona and southeastern California.
It's beautiful. Tell me not.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's definitely a place.
I would do shit like that. We got to get we'd have to get one of the harnesses where the dogs get clipped onto your backpack. They'd be wiped after that.
Oh,
so
boy, I am not carrying my 70-pound dog on it. You carrying him?
I don't know.
You're a trooper.
He's carrying you.
I'll be doing walking lunges with him on the way back.
Might as well get a harness for me as well.
Just clip him on the backpack, throw him in.
He's gonna be a big, heavy bad boy. It's gonna be a heavy bag.
Banff is one of the national parks in Canada, and you can rent huts underneath the stars and whatnot.
Wow.
So, listen, man, I get freaked out by bears and shit though. So I'm worried about waking up in the morning, just stretching, and there's a bear sitting there looking at me. And then
bear spray.
I got bear spray. What is that? Mace? Bear mace?
It basically blinds them.
Jesus Christ. Do they allow it in national parks?
They give it to you. You can't walk without it. It doesn't blind them forever. It blinds them. It's like pepper spray. You shoot them with it, boom, and it's huge. You have to have it with you at all times.
It's a handle.
So you literally, it's like a gun, but you shoot it straight at the target.
Banff. Look at Banff, man.
Oh, but yeah, I seen that by Lake Alberta, right? If I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. I was actually talking to my wife about that.
Why aren't we there right now?
I want to do that with my family.
Bring Archer. I know he likes to run and shit.
I love it.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I want to do something like that. And the snow is cool too. I got a lot of
glaciers and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of places I want to go. You know, it's funny. You talk about traveling and you talk about just shit in general, and there's so much that we don't see in our own backyard and our own area. Everyone's so ready to go to Europe. Everyone's so ready to go to Australia, shit like that. Yeah, it's impressive and there's a lot of stuff to see. But have you ever explored Canada? Have you ever gone to Montreal? You ever gone to Toronto? You ever seen British Columbia? Go skiing, hiking, shit like that. Mm-hmm. There's so much in the U.S. I want to go see all of Montana. I'd love to. A lot of the rich people, like crazy rich people, have houses there. When I worked for the audio video company, they were talking about Bill Gates. They were talking about Steve Jobs at one time, Tom Brady. Everyone's got summer homes in Montana because the land is so cheap and you get so much of it for the price.
Land because they want people to move there. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. When I went to me, when it comes to traveling, I travel a lot. I've been to a lot of places in Europe. Obviously, I grew up in Egypt. It's a country
which
in
I
Africa.
still want to talk about.
We haven't got into that. I spent 8 years in Egypt. I visited Cuba right when they opened the gates. I did Dominican Republic, backpacked it at the time with my ex-girlfriend.
I heard Cuba is phenomenal. I heard it was super dope down there.
The thing about Cuba, the food was garbage.
Whoa.
That's to all my people, and I think a lot of people could agree with me.
That's a bold statement.
Because I'm Muslim, so I can't eat pork, so that was one big disadvantage. They're very heavy on pork, but they're not allowed to eat beef.
Cubans aren't allowed to eat beef?
They're not allowed to eat steak, so there's not a lot of steak there.
Why?
I don't know. For some reason, cows are like super important. So a lot of people don't eat a lot, so they rely so much on pork and chicken. But the food wasn't the greatest. Like when I had my best food was definitely Spain. Spain had great food. You know what I'm saying?
That's what John was saying.
When I visited Morocco, oh my God. France, it depends on what you like.
I love France.
I like the French food. But a lot of people, it's not sold to it. So
I love the escargot with the butter sauce.
I'm a big, when it comes to food, I'll taste anything. I learned that after eating pigeon. Do not
try
judge it by the name.
Once.
Do not. But I mean, when it comes to armadillos and raccoons, I don't know if I could do that. But
don't eat a bat. Don't go to China and eat a bat.
With Cuba, the scenery was insane. The whole fact that they're still stuck in time, bro. When you go there, you'll see what I mean. They're really stuck in time. They're frozen. They're frozen in the 1950s. Wow. Every car is like old. You're not allowed. the communists got, you can't use your phone, so you get an hour a day on Wi-Fi, and it's like Pokemon Go. You're trying to catch the Wi-Fi as you go.
Damn.
And when you finally get it, you only get like 15 minutes on it because it runs your whole. So it was insane. So it was a good time to get off my phone for sure, and then see how people live. One thing I got to give them to all Cubans, great people, so nice, very safe. I took a walk at 3 a.m. and I got lost because I was hungry. And some local kid, him and his girlfriend walking out at 3 a.m. and he was like, oh, like I speak a little Spanish, so he was like, do you need help? I was like, I'm hungry. You know, is there a restaurant around? He started explaining. He was like, you know what? I got nothing to do. I'll take you. In my head, I'm like, am I gonna really trust this guy?
You got to get robbed.
Real good or real bad?
I was like, you know what? I have nothing on me.
As a New Yorker, though,
To me, exactly. I was like,
creep vibe starts.
I grew up in Egypt. It was worse. You know, I grew up in Queens, New York, which is a jungle too. So I was like, in my head, he's gonna rob me for nothing? Of course, we got the hands. So in my head, I'm like, I'll protect myself if I have to. So we walked. He took me to the spot. Waited till I got my food. First of all, I got a whole fried chicken, rice and beans, a salad for 35 cents.
Stop it.
Wow.
You're playing.
A whole roasted chicken.
Why aren't we there right now?
And he walked me back. And when he walked me back to the spot that I was renting, he was like, all right, take care. He didn't ask for nothing. So I call him in. I was like, yo, it looks like a great dude. I call him in. I was like, yo, here, I gave him some money. And I gave him a bunch of clothes that I bought with me that I'm probably, you know, just pass it down. And I had samples. My cousin worked at Bloomingdale, so he had a lot of like perfume samples.
Oh, dope.
Dude was stoked.
He
was like, took my Facebook.
He was the freshest smelling motherfucker in Cuba.
He was so happy. But to me, that meant a lot. Why? Because the people out there do it out of love. They don't do it out of, hey, I want to make a buck. A lot of countries that I visited, people do stuff to make a buck.
Yeah.
They did it because they want to show you that they're good people and it's a good country. And the people that are very educated. Like the security guard to my spot was telling me he works as a doctor in the morning.
I bet it's because
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
That's
I bet it's
crazy.
because they read a lot. Because there's nothing else to do.
And a lot of people go there to study medicine. So they're one of the best countries on earth when it comes to medicine and pharmaceuticals and everything.
Which I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't think at all, but they're very up to par with that. So, like I said, the guy that was my security guard was a doctor in the morning, and he was telling me, I'm doing this at night because it's a communist. So if you're a doctor, you're making 25 a kook, whatever koop it is a day, and so does the garbage man, and so is the cab driver. Everybody has to make equal pay.
Ooh.
So he's like, to me, I need another job at night to live that lifestyle. Speaks perfect English. You know what I'm saying? It was explaining to me. I had a problem in my shoulder that I went to doctors here when I was fighting. I got a big problem. No one knew the answer. He told me exactly what it was. He was like, you don't have a problem. You just have a muscle imbalance because you don't stretch, you don't do this, you don't do that. And then luckily I came and he said the exact same words. So I had a random security guard.
Because you don't stretch. That sounds like my. That sounds
He
like
told
my
me,
fucking
he's
life.
like, you're putting too much stress on it and you're not recovering it. So it's just like muscle going on top of muscle going on top of muscle. And that's a random security guard. So over there, I had a time of my life when it comes to people, safety, and you get to just enjoy a country. You see how people live without social media and how fucking happy they are, bro. There's no social media. There's nothing. They see me.
Let's be honest for a hot second. If there wasn't a way to meet women, because I mean, it doesn't matter for you because you got a girl. If it wasn't a way to meet women and it wasn't a way to amplify business, would we really be on social media? I probably wouldn't be.
I mean, yeah, you could say
If it didn't have to do with meeting females,
it's definitely a place
it didn't have to.
And it's marketing. It's a place to market yourself.
But let's say nothing with business. If it didn't have to do with either of those two things,
you won't be on it.
I wouldn't be on it. I have nothing to do on it.
Unless you're really in love with yourself to post selfies all day.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was in that mindless circle when I was competing. Constant, every day, selfie, every day. This is me, this is me.
You feel good about yourself.
You feel good about yourself.
Well, you have to do that.
But then
I was the same. I used to be 260 pounds.
But then you step back. There's a realization point. You step back and you look at yourself and you go, no one needs to see me every fucking day.
You grow up.
Yeah.
2 different words.
But a lot of people don't.
You grow. A lot of people don't, but you tend to grow up, and that's the process. We mature. We had this conversation, with girls back in the day. We would talk to 2 different, 3, 5 different girls. There comes a point, it's like, you know what? It's time to grow up. I can't be a scumbag forever. We had that exact conversation.
Yeah.
It's growing up. That's the same thing when it comes to social media. Of course, when I went to Cuba, you just realize how life is without it. You know what I'm saying? How
I'm jealous. I really am.
I'm telling you.
I'm not jealous of the communism. I'm jealous of
of course,
social media.
I was not on my phone. There was no point to be on your phone at that point.
Yeah, besides to take pictures maybe. If
you take
'cause you didn't have a
pictures and then
camera.
when you come back to post it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's to show your friends. To me, it was all about nature, how people live. I got to meet so many people. And I met this guy who was South African studying medicine there, speaks English, speaks like 5 different languages. There's a lot of Russians. because obviously there was a lot of the communism.
yeah.
Yeah. So to me, it was, and when they see them, when I tell people I'm American, they're like, "Oh my God, Chris Brown." So they know something, and they start singing me some lyrics.
That's
and I'm
that.
like,
That's
yeah.
that. That's that Wi-Fi for 20 minutes.
Literally. So it was definitely a great experience. That's when I tell people travel. Same thing with Montana. It doesn't mean from they're American and they speak English, then they have the same lifestyle that we have in New York. So totally, we have to.
It's so different. That's one of the things that come on, baby. That's one of the things that I tell people all the time. It's like, I love Long Island. I really do. I love Long Island. There's so many people that I know that talk shit about it, and I got into that mindset too, because you get into that thought process that everything's greener on the other side. Everyone's grass is greener over there. Oh, if I move to California, it's gonna be better. Oh, if I move to Florida, it's gonna be better. Oh, if I move here, and you start to look around, and in my opinion, my personal opinion, nothing beats Long Island in the summer, especially 100%. Fall, summer months. Nothing beats Long Island. The wineries, the beaches, the Hamptons, the city. Not now. But the city,
it's right there.
Yeah. You want to go snowboard? Vermont's right up there. You know what I'm saying? We have so much at our disposal here, and people just want to trash the cost of living. And it's expensive. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, definitely.
But it's expensive everywhere. I have a ton of friends that are like, "Oh, I'm moving to South Carolina." What are you doing down there? 90% of the people that are moving down there from Long Island are retiring because there's no income tax, no income tax in there, Florida, shit like that. I even tried to talk myself into moving to Florida.
I'll be honest with you, bro. It came a point to me. I wanted to move to England. I'm a big
London would be fine.
Yeah,
I've never been to London.
I wanted to go there, cook, because my goal as a chef, I always wanted to cook in every country. I wanted to go visit Milan and get a year of cooking, learning the different cultures, and start creating different infusions.
Yeah,
it's all about infusions. So I was like, I want to move to. When I went to London to check it out, I fell in love. I'm like, wow, this is. But you know what it is?
It's the honeymoon stage.
It's just something new, so it looks good.
Yeah.
A person from London, I bet you anything, if they come to Long Island or come to New York,
think it's amazing.
They're gonna be like, "Yo, I would love to move to New York." To us, is something new. We're just so set to be in a routine. Obviously, anything that looks new, we're gonna want. That's just life.
Well, that's the whole
Yeah.
thing, and that's exactly my point. My point is, I started looking at Texas again, at Austin, and this and that. I started looking at a bunch of different places, and once again, like you just said, I have a lot of friends that go places, and they always come back. They always come back to Long Island. It's that honeymoon stage. Same thing with females. Same thing with females in relationships.
You gotta
Everything's
love New York.
amazing. Oh my God, the best person ever. And then after a couple months, you're just kind of going, this is a problem. This is a problem. My ex did the same shit. My last date did the same shit.
Yeah.
You start to realize that it's not greener everywhere, and that it's the same. It's what you make of where you are.
Literally, I was about to say that. Make the best out of it.
People always forget too that if you're moving somewhere else, you're not making New York money anymore.
Yeah.
So it still equals out fine, except the only difference is if you go to Amazon, it costs the same price.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in a way, everything's more affordable in New York because you're making New York money. But if you're going to buy, like say, a couch on Amazon, right? Whether you live in Montana or you live in New York, it's going to be the same price on Amazon.
Yeah. Maybe the
However,
shipping's more somewhere else because it doesn't do Prime in remote locations.
But besides that, you're making the New York money. So per hour of work, it's cheaper to buy it in New York, to live in New York.
Yeah. One of my closest friends, my godson's father, he was telling me he was going to stay his job. He's a mechanic. He works at a couple high-end dealerships as a tech. He was going to stay a mechanic, and then he was going to go and live in Pennsylvania. I said, what are you fucking doing? You're gonna commute 2+ hours every morning and every night just to try to keep the same money and live somewhere in Pennsylvania? Yeah, well, it's cheap. I go, you're gonna spend just as much fucking money on gas, time, away from your son, away from the family. This is really what you want to do just to save initially a couple $100,000 on a house? Come on, man. What are we doing over here?
No, definitely.
And he said, I'm gonna move down to South Carolina. What are you around? Where are you? What are you? What are you near? What are jobs like where you're thinking of moving? What is the hub? If there's nothing around you for 20 or 30 minutes, what's the point?
Yeah, why bother?
We are spoiled up here, man.
Some people like that.
Dude, I walk down the street, there's a 7-Eleven. I walk over here, there's a gas station. I walk over here, there's a grocery store. It's not like that everywhere. And that freaks me out sometimes when I go visit places.
Listen, man, to me, I'm a New Yorker at heart. I live here, die here. If you make it here, you make it anywhere. That's how I see it. Same thing goes for Egypt. I loved Egypt. I fell in love with Egypt.
Well, that's actually what I want to talk about. So, you lived here initially, or you lived in Egypt first?
I was born and raised here, and after 9/11, that's when I left.
And I know you said after 9/11, you and your family got a little bit.
Yeah, it was. Of course, that's with anything. There's that, like the Chinese right now targeted everything. there was every race you could say, or anything that goes on at the time that makes it look bad, there's gonna have to be a target on it. It creates animosity. That happens, which is understandable. Of course, if you lost your loved ones in a tower, and the reason wasn't because of a faith, it gives you a reason for people to be upset. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's totally not what's condoned. You know, it's not. It's very peaceful.
It's not the way to do it.
Literally, the last thing. And even when I went there, they looked at me. Oh, you're American. You're the one dropping bombs on Iraq. So
well, that's the crazy.
They have the other image. So it's a back and forth thing.
Well, that's the thing I tell a lot of people. You know, you fuck this country, this and that. I'm gonna go somewhere else. They're gonna look at you like an American, man.
Yeah,
no matter where.
When I went to France, they
they
didn't even like us.
If I go to Italy, man, they're gonna go, no, you're not Italian. You're
American.
You're an American.
Yeah,
that just happens to be Italian that left years ago.
Yeah.
It's for anything. You are where you were from. That's what you are.
Exactly. So when I went to Egypt as an 8-year-old, after that, it was very hard getting accustomed to do different cultures. Like it's night and day. You're coming from a conservative to very open, right? And I went at an age from 8 to 16, so the puberty levels were hitting and everything. So it was a whole. Did I have fun? I had a blast. It was two different types of fun. Obviously, it's not the fun like we have here with parties because everything is closed. But they try to live that Western lifestyle a lot. Like they try to live like how it is in Europe and how it is in the U.S. So to get adapted to that was very difficult. Even coming back. Like when I first came back, every girl there is like a virgin, right? So at a young age, yeah. The sex before marriage is prohibited, so forth. So
he came back, everybody had their legs over, like slide on in. What's up?
I came back, the girl next to me in class is pregnant. So I came back 16. I'm like, wait,
what
she's
the
not.
fuck is
what
going
happened?
on?
And then kids were, in high school in front of our teachers used to kiss in the hallway when you drop your girlfriend off to class or the girl you're talking to. And that was totally normal. So one time I seen a boy and girl way on top of each other, right? And the teacher goes like, all right, we could finish this off later. Time to go to class. He just said, in my head, I'm like, yo, that's jail time. So I was in shock.
They cut a limb off over in Egypt for that.
Getting stoned.
It was a big shock to me, like both going there and then coming back.
So, what was now? Quick question about Egypt. What was the nightlife like over there? Was there any?
There was so much. To us, it's the best thing about it. I gotta say about there, they have leisure. They get to enjoy their lifestyle. They get to, you have a 7 to 3 job, a 9 to 5. After that, you're going out at night. There's not that New York mindset where every minute counts and you need to like beat yourself up. You know what I'm saying? So the lifestyle there was great. Like me and my friends, obviously I went to a rich American school because, having the dollar. So the people that
the conversion rate.
The conversion was, I got to witness best of both worlds. Obviously my family didn't come from riches out there. So my cousins and them were in the slums. They grew up in the ghetto, and then I had to go visit them, so I got to live that side. And then I got to see my friends over there that are richer, basically more than half the people I know here. So you get to see that. So you get to see their lifestyle and how with money you could see a lot of cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like at a young age, I got to swim with dolphins in the middle of the ocean out of nowhere.
Damn,
because my friend he owned like a villa on the water and he had his own yacht.
That's
fire. They got this old scuba diving guy to show us what to do.
Goes
so it was
10
crazy.
grand.
What?
And it shows you as a little kid on the street how fun it is to play with fireworks.
So something like that. What body of water were you guys jumping into?
We was doing the Red Sea.
Oh, that's sick.
The Red Sea was sick. I recommend anyone to go there, visit the Red Sea. The corals, everything, the reefs.
So am I wrong for thinking that the nightlife in Egypt or anytime anybody goes out to eat or something like
blast.
That? I'm
telling
you. We got to go back. I told you. I'll go there
you will
with
have
you.
a blast.
I need a tour guide though. I need someone that was part local.
It's like Steinway. You ever been to Steinway?
If you're in Queens.
Yeah, Steinway, hookah, music.
All right.
Literally,
but in my opinion, I'm thinking of like clay buildings, and you're right next to a pyramid.
That does exist. Okay. That's in Giza.
Okay.
But there's parts that are way more advanced and beautiful like here. So it's not like you have your rich and you have your poor. That's what it is. Mostly, of course, you have the poor, but you get to see both worlds. I used to love doing the regular people stuff because obviously we get to do this fun stuff here. We did that all the time. I wanted to see life in a different perspective of someone else. So I'd go down there, eat what they eat that street food, The
street food probably the best food, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to. That's what I was telling my mom last night. Although, we were watching a documentary on Japan, and you see the street food carts and whipping up the local fare.
I'm catching something, bro.
Actually, it was Japan, and then I was watching the new Terminator movie, which trash. But
Yeah, Terminator died after the first one.
Terminator, don't send the check. But what was cool though is that the movie starts off in Mexico City, and you see the one of the main characters, the female. She's out there. It's like 5 a.m. They got tamale carts, stuff like that. Bro, that's fire. That's better food than you find in restaurants a lot of times.
Telling you, that's what you want to do.
So what's
hole in the walls?
What's the besides pigeon? What's the local fare like over there for street food?
Street food, man, everything. They got falafels. Falafels is really based off of that. In Egypt, the falafel is different. Nice, big. They use the chickpeas and the fava beans to make the actual ingredient for it. They got this plate. It's called kushari. So it's basically a vegetarian dish with lentils. They use elbow macaroni pasta and rice and vermicelli. They mix that together, and then they make this garlic tomato sauce with this like acidic other garlic vinegar sauce on the side.
I'm getting so hungry.
And you just mix that in there.
Oh my God.
When I first got there, I was like, wait, no protein on this? When I was young, I was like, Mom, I want a piece. She was like, just eat it like this, trust me. So the lentils is the substitute for the protein. And that plate is just so packed because at the end they top it with caramelized, basically burnt onions. So you get the hit from everywhere. They also have shawarma. Shawarma's big over
Shawarma.
Yeah.
What is shawarma? It's just meat.
It's meat on a stick, and then you slice it down. They got chicken. They got
Kind of
beef.
like the Greek shit.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Someone just asked me today, like, Omar, what is Egyptian food like? It's a stem off of Greek food. It's a Mediterranean. You know, obviously the Greek conquered for so long, so you took a lot from them. So
melting pot, baby. A little
it's
different.
Literally what it is. So it's Mediterranean food, but they use a lot of heavy cooking spices and stuff into it that's into it. But it's full of flavor. I gained all my weight when I was out there, so and I came back 260 pounds. Yeah, literally. I was just having protein. It was just the carbs.
You know, it's funny.
And pigeons.
It's funny, man. I dated a vegan chick for 8 months, and I didn't want to eat anything that she fucking ever had besides edamame that she had at her house. So I'm sitting there.
My cousins are vegetarian and vegan.
Getting bitch tits over here, just eating mad edamame.
And that's soy. But honestly.
But I was going to say, side note, you know, for those who don't know you also own a meal prep company,
yes,
which we're going to get into. And your vegan jambalaya, man.
You tried it? I forgot that. I gave it
Son. I sat there and I did not want that.
It made you contemplate to go vegan.
All your food's great. For real.
Appreciate that.
I love every dish.
Thank you so much. I hope you mean that from heart.
I do. I swear. Yeah. I wouldn't put it out there if I didn't. All your food's great. When I ate that vegan jambalaya, man, that was one of the I'd say the top 3 dishes that I just didn't want to end.
Everyone, you know what's crazy? It's not my biggest seller,
and I love it.
But the people that order it, they know for a fact to come back and order it again.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying?
It was great.
You just, I tell that to all my workers, and that's that one plate. You just have to try it one day, because when you're thinking vegan jambalaya, you're thinking it's just like a plain thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not willing to me. It's
explosion.
Just the explosion. That's what most of food. But to me, that vegan jambalaya just carries so much because it's vegan. You have to make sure you put everything into it to taste good, to replicate another dish.
Otherwise, it's basically just like licking the fucking wall.
Yeah.
You could probably eat cardboard at that point. You know what I'm saying? But it's
this drywall.
Might as well be.
It's definitely like one of my top dishes that I love to make.
That big boy brisket, son. Big boy brisket.
Slow cooked brisket, man, for 8 hours.
Come on, kid.
You got it. Yeah,
well, we're gonna get into that. So Egypt, you know, you had a great time out there. Learned a lot, I'm sure.
Bro, so much.
What was the top lesson you probably say you gained from being out there?
A hustler, bro.
Yeah.
I have to say
that's not like how we are here, right?
Because over here we have so much opportunity. And we have to thank God. When I came back here, that's when I thank God for everything I had, because over here you're basically fed with a golden spoon. Over there, you never have the opportunity to become something that you ever dream. So you have to do your best to survive. It's like survival of the fittest. You have to hustle. What I have to thank Egypt for that made me today, I turned into a chameleon. I could adapt anywhere now. If you throw me in New Zealand, I'll find a way to make a penny. You know what I'm saying? And I have to also thank New York for that too. Growing up in Queens, it's another jungle as well.
Yeah, man.
So infusing both jungles together is pretty rough. But what we have here is definitely better than what most people have in the world, because you have the opportunity to do what you love and make a buck out of it. You could be a sanitation worker over here and you make pretty good damn money.
Damn good money.
Over there, if you're a sanitation worker, good luck with that.
Yeah.
You're walking with a cart on the street, just collecting trash. Yeah, and it's pretty bad. So.
And it's hot as hell.
When I go back and I tell my friends, hey, I'm a chef over here in New York, they look at me funny. Like, you're not a doctor. You didn't become like a spokesperson somewhere about.
That's an American stereotype right there.
So they just think like, because over there it's class. So it's about, to be rich, you need to be a doctor, a lawyer, architect, or a pilot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If to be a chef, you need to. It's the same thing goes the other way around. So it was like one of those. So over there, I learned to appreciate every position, and over here too. And the best thing you could say is, like I said, you becoming a hustler. I learned how to move. I learned how to, like, you know what? I need to sell salt to a snail. How am I going to do that? How am I going to attract?
You need to sell ketchup to a lady wearing white gloves.
Basically, make her get dirty.
So steak to a vegan.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's one thing I have to give to that, you know, because you see all the different classes. Over there, it's either rich or poor. And you get to see that, you know what? It's more to the world out there than over here.
Well, that's the crazy thing.
Over here, you could work at McDonald's and you'll be wearing Beats headphones.
Well, that's the crazy thing. You start thinking, and you hear a lot of, you know, just overall how from every demographic, every race, every group, we're oppressed here in America. Everybody, white people say it too. This and that. You have no fucking clue what it's like to live in other places in the world.
People would dream to just grab a visa and come here.
It's wild, man. Even people in Europe.
Can they survive? I tell my cousins that too. Can you survive here? Might be difficult.
Yeah.
Because we have to work our asses off to live a good life here as well.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially
you know
in New York.
And like I said, over there, what they do have, they have leisure. They have a lot of leisure. They have a lot of downtime. They could chill. Nothing's up the butt. They don't got to pay taxes.
You think like Mexico, a siesta in the middle of the fucking day, work in New York?
When I went to DR, every weekend they're popping bottles on the street. Everybody's getting together. They're having fun. That's one thing I got to give the outside world. They know how to have fun and live their life.
Yeah, we
live
to work.
Yeah, we live for the dollar, my boy over here. We have to though, and that's New York. Let's be specific, because like you have some friends like, yeah, I'm gonna go to South Carolina, chill, hang out, just, you know, cool up. Tennessee, beautiful state too. You know,
I have a friend that's down in Tennessee. Shouts to the JT Wise guy, my boy. He's gonna come on the podcast. He does photo, video too. He works with a lot of.
I heard it's a beautiful state. So
he moved from Austin over there. He really does love it. He's seeing this chick right now. But he said once, you know, if this doesn't work out with her, I'm gonna go back to Austin, because it's just.
You always go back to your roots.
That's what. But you know what? He's lived a lot of places. He's lived. Angie had the wire.
He's over there hanging out.
Wire was hitting me in the leg.
He's knocked out.
He's knocked out. You know, he's lived a lot of places. He lived in Europe. He lived in Florida, I believe. He lived in California. He's been everywhere. But Austin, when I visited him down there, Austin was fantastic, man. I had a great time in Austin. Great food. People were cool as fuck.
Of course, because you get a big infusion.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with Cali I have to give. You got the Mexican street cards. I'm always on YouTube watching food, you know, Netflix, anything food, because I love food. Getting ideas and to see how people are, when it comes to food, there's people who are geniuses out there, and that helps you, you know, expand your knowledge.
I'll tell you what you got to start. You got to right when they legalize weed in New York, you got to start
infusing cannabis.
You got to jump into that and do like a side business where you do
pizza.
They're a pizza
cannabis infused pizza.
Well, there are people that do.
Someone does that already.
Parties.
Yeah.
They cater parties, or canna party, or whatever you want to call it. They will infuse everything and do it as a dinner, so you get a little bit of THC in each dish. It's pretty wild, man.
Causes you a food high, and then automatically you feel like,
well,
wow,
it's an edible. So
you know what's crazy, bro? I get high of food already, so.
I know, right? Imagine that shit.
I literally sit there, like I told you, I woke up this morning, I was like, you know what? I'm craving a cannoli, and I have sweet Hawaiian bread in the fridge, and I had some ricotta cheese. I was like, yo.
That's it.
Let me bring some Italian out of me. Let me bring some Italian out of me, bro.
Was it the King's Hawaiian bread?
It was actually pepper ridge.
Okay.
Bread. I love the King's Hawaiian bread though, but it was actually like a white toast, nice and thick.
King's Hawaiian kills me because it's
they use pineapple in there.
It's amazing, but it's so calorically dense. So you look at the back, the nutrition. When I was really tracking shit, you look at the back of the nutrition, and you just sit there and you go, "Is it worth it?"
To me, it was.
Fuck it, I want.
You know what I did once? Got a nice piece of cod, dipped it in some beer, I battered it up, right?
I'm sure that made the cod very tolerable.
It made it too tolerable. So I took the beer battered cod, and then I made my own little tartar sauce. And then simple, just, you know, tomato, lettuce, and I got the King Hawaiian bun, bro.
Oof.
I was living life.
That's fire.
Tell McDonald's they could keep the fillet of fish.
Yeah, keep the fucking fillet of fish, but give me a McFlurry.
Let me show you how to do it.
That was a big hit to me. So to me, it's like coming up with those ideas, like you see in Austin, like he mentioned, and like you mentioned, and in Cali, spices, bro, food. So that's why
throwing curveballs. Well, that's cool. That's the really cool thing about cuisine, because we haven't had any chefs or people that cook on the show yet. Am I
Yeah.
wrong? Right?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so.
No.
So
Cooking is my life, man.
it's super interesting
awesome.
to hear.
Since I was a kid, I used to tell my mom, "Oh, I want to teach me how to cook. Like, put me in the kitchen. I want to do this." And then my first job, my dad was a waiter before he owned the restaurant. He would just catch me in the kitchen, watching the guys work the line, and I always just had that spark for the kitchen because I used to love food. So to me, like, I think with cooking, it's a talent. It's something that you're gifted with to have that good palate where you know how to infuse good tastes together. What could mix and what could match. That's when cooking comes down to. It's all about what you could taste. You're always a better chef has a better taste than a regular person.
You gotta have an eclectic palate.
Exactly, and that's why they're better at what they do.
Even just the eye to know when something's done versus when it's not.
Exactly.
You
A
know,
lot of
I
people
do
try.
have that
something
problem.
A lot of people lack.
A lot of people love my chicken because of that reason.
I do have
your
that
chicken is
problem,
never
man.
dry.
My chicken,
But for whatever reason, you
every
just know
time.
when to stop it.
When everything is timed, everything is temperature.
Yeah.
Everything you got to know. Okay, with chicken, obviously something you cannot undercook, but it's something that all right. I need to get it just to be 165 on the dot, right? That's the right temperature to cook a chicken breast because you don't want to catch salmonella or anything. So you get it to be 165, and I know my clients are gonna microwave or heat up their food. That's when you need to let it. You can't overcook it even a minute. Because that extra minute, if they're putting 2 minutes, it's drying out the chicken.
It's like eating a rubber pallet.
Exactly. So you don't want to eat especially when it comes to leaner proteins. So cooking is a science.
Yeah.
It's literally a science. People think it's a joke. It's a science. It's
No, man,
mixing.
it's difficult. That's why
Yeah.
chefs are so renowned in certain industries in certain ways. You know, people pay $200, $300, $400 a plate sometimes at upscale restaurants because they want to take
something is big.
They want to take something that big, and they want to take that palate adventure and be told a story just through something that they're tasting and eating. It's no different than going to the opera, man. You know, just sitting back and just. It's crazy. Food's crazy.
Food's life.
I mean, food's life. And then you created Ossskiii.
That came. That was definitely a good spark up. Came unexpected.
That's a lot of stuff. The video stuff came unexpected to me.
Literally never thought, hey, I'm gonna have a meal prep. If you'd asked me 2 years ago, yo, you think you'll own a meal prep company in 2 years? I'm like, yo, you think you're out of your mind. I'm gonna be the next Conor McGregor.
Oh,
I was like,
lunchbox fists, man. My man,
There
ready.
you go.
yeah, I was just not. It was not. I love to cook, but I didn't see it as that. And then it started off with actually Jarrell and Jamal. They needed. Jamal was training me to get ready for fights, and he was like, "Yo, listen, I know you could cook pretty well. Just cook for me and prep me out, and I'll train you for free. Let's see if we could work that." And that's and then Jarrell was like vouching for me at that time, like, "Yo, this kid cook, whatever."
And
then,
for those who don't know who Jarrell is, Jarrell's Big Baby
yeah.
Miller.
Shout out to my boy Big Baby, man. His birthday coming
There you
up.
go.
Shout
Oh,
out
shit.
to him, yeah. So whatchamacallit. So when Big Baby was pushing me, like, yo, I think you should do it, show them the talent. So when Jamal tried my food, I just made him cod, ground beef, and some chicken.
The basics for
Literally,
prep.
yeah, for prep.
food.
I get a call back the next day. Yo, I'm like, what's up, Jay? It's like, yo, I tasted Eat Clean, bro. I tasted this. I tasted that. And all due respect to every company, you kill it, my boy. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, bro, my wife is the pickiest eater on earth. And she said your food was insane. She was like, all that meal prep company food I used to bring home, nothing. He was like, my kids do not eat unless it's your chicken.
Yeah, there you go.
And they ask, like, hey, is it Ossskiii's chicken? And then be like, yep, it is. And they eat it. He was like, what you have is what other meal prep companies don't have. And most of my clients are elderly women and elderly men who want to cater for their family. Instead of having their wife cook every day, they're like, you know what, this is good food. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to eat that way.
Yeah.
It has the caloric nutrition on it that if you are following, then boom. But if you're and I tell this to everyone that orders, if you're getting ready for a bodybuilding show, the bulk options are your best idea because as a bodybuilder, to eat my regular food is not going to help you during prep.
Yeah.
It could help you maintain a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
Help you
And
low
balance-
body
and
fat.
balance.
You know what I'm saying? If that's your goal, but for you to go from 8 to 5%, oh hell no, that's on you. That's on your end.
That always drove me crazy when I see people using meal prep companies. I haven't seen it with yours. Many people doing yours
Because
stuff,
I give them the heads up. People be like, I'm getting ready for a show. Bro, if you're getting ready for a show, I don't want to be the reason why this man does not win his trophy at something he works very hard for.
Yeah.
So and I tell them that straight up. I'm like, I use additives that might affect your body if you're going from an 8 to 5%.
Salt,
Yeah.
everything like that.
You know what I'm saying? Literally. So I'm like, that's something you need to do on the side on the research. I have a bunch of bodybuilders who are a week out, and they would reach out to me and they'd be like, "Omar, I need my cod dry. Just, no seasoning, salt, any natural seasonings of herbs, whatever you could try as much." And I'm good with that because when I was getting ready for fights and I would have to cut like 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I was good with mixing stuff in. So that's how it started. I was like, you know what? I have the knowledge of cooking and macros. I used to be 260 pounds. I got down to 160. I learned the game of bodybuilding. I learned the game of fighting. So let me put that knowledge together and use my cooking skills to build something. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Ossskiii basically all started.
That's sick.
It was definitely a great journey seeing people utilize your stuff. One time I was at Target. I was buying a little tote thing to put my clothes in it. So I'm looking at it, and then this kid goes like, these guys was like, yo, 2 kids right next to me. I was in the Target in Valley Stream. Like, yo, bro, whatchamacallit? I've been on my gains. I'm trying to lose weight, like before I go to school, whatever. So I'm just listening to the conversation as I'm seeing which is the best tote for mine.
Yeah, of course.
And then one kid goes like, yeah, I've been even getting this meal prep from this meal prep company. So that's when I was like, oh, snap.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Here's a potential customer. Let me try to lure him in.
The ear canal go crazy open.
So he goes like, yeah, I think it's called Ossskiii or Ossskiii Eats. I think it's Ossskiii or Ossskiii Eats. I'm like, oh shit, that's me. I was you don't understand how happy I was. Too random shit. So I look over, I'm like,
that's
yo.
awesome.
So I stopped by, I was like, you said I heard you was like, yeah, man, you should try them out. He's telling me, I'm like, oh, I'm the owner. He's like, oh, no way. So I pulled my page out. I was like, yeah, I run the page. I was like, yo, here, use this discount next time you order. He was like, yo, that's crazy, dude. I would never guess, blah, 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 blah. And that happened so many times. The other day I was introduced to some guy and 2 boxers ordered food from me. And I guess he was a boxer. So my boy's like, oh, this is my boy, Ossskiii. He was like, wait, you own a meal prep company? I was like, yeah. He's like, yo, my friends order food from you. I'm like, wow. It feels good, bro. It definitely feels good.
Because I've had people, I'll be filming somebody at a convention sometimes.
Naked Rizzles?
They'll be like, oh shit, that's Rizzles? And I'm just, I kind of take a step back and you go, damn, that's kind of fire, man.
Because
awesome.
The point is your passion to grow. And this is something we love to do. And now that your work is getting recognized as the best because that's all your blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, man.
So me, the countless nights that I missed, my weekends are done. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't get to go out.
Yeah,
because those are my grind days.
I've linked with you on the weekends,
and
for
you
photos.
saw on the photos, and during COVID, that obviously me running a catering hall, I have to work at night to get weddings and those events out the way as well. So in the morning, I would used to wake up 7 a.m., go make sure all the meal prep is ready, blah blah blah, packed up and ready to go for the next day, and then right after that, I would have to transition into knocking out a whole 100 or 200 people wedding. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But times like this, when you're at a Target, when you're at a Target and like you can get that Ossskiii Eats.
Ossskiii.
I was like, yo, bro, it's Ossskiii, but a lot of people mix it up together.
I appreciate it.
My man parts the joggers and his head just comes through. Yo, it's Ossskiii, but yo, I feel that.
literally, I was like, yo, thank you though. He was the feeling how happy he was to meet the owner. And I do it a lot. I take the deliveries myself sometimes to meet the people. Pick the people's mind, see what they like, what they want to see on the menu.
It's all about feedback, man.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's what it is. If you're making something that people don't like, or I told you, man,
I'm here for people, man.
Dude, I've tried meal prep companies that very, very popular athletes are sponsored by. Here, take this. I used to get bulk from people that weren't eating all the food.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd eat it. Bro, I would get gas. I would feel like shit after I ate it. I haven't felt like that at all with any of your food.
Because I'm going to tell you the thing about other meal prep companies out there. Most people...
Drop the bomb.
This is the major bomb. And this is no offense to them, because at the end of the day, they're still making money.
We'll lump them all together. No one's specific.
No one's specific. But to me, and that's to all of them, every meal prep company that we could even speak about in New York or even outside of New York,
Tri-state,
they were never chefs. They were just a bunch of either bodybuilders or a bunch of freaking people who just want to make money.
Yeah.
They were never a chef, so they didn't understand the chef industry of it. So that's where the problem comes in. They just hire people to do the cooking. They come up with some recipes and they'd be like, follow this recipe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's way more to it.
There's no formal training.
My luck, I was trained as a bodybuilder at one point. I was trained as a fighter at one point. And my job was a chef.
Yeah.
My job was to cook. So
you already had the roots in.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just combined it all to start a meal prep company. Was my dream to start a meal prep company? No. I would rather have my own fat boy restaurant. You come in and ask me for a stuffed cannoli French toast, I know you're gonna be 20 times happier than that vegan jambalaya, and I'll try. But listen,
I saw
me,
the waffle gains you threw.
oh,
up
the
there, too.
birthday cake,
Yeah.
that's gonna drop, and I got the chicken and waffles too.
I'm excited about that.
I used oatmeal instead of regular breadcrumb,
That's cool.
so to give it that little crunchiness, and then I'm just gonna air fry it. Technically, put it in the oven. So that's the new plan for that. So it's always finding like tweaks.
the ins and outs.
Yeah,
Of what's
to
the
get
next
stuff.
thing.
Yeah, to get stuff
But
going.
that's a chef versus somebody who's just a bodybuilder.
Exactly.
Yeah,
People at
that's
the end
what
of the
you
day
do for a
boil
living.
chicken, broccoli, and this. You know what I'm saying?
So
Let's
boring
fill
after a
it with salt and cheese here to taste good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, let me just throw sriracha on it.
Or the amount of flavor god that I've gone through, just dumping a whole container of flavor
I'm
god on
telling
some
you,
shit.
flavor god is good, but there's ways you could saute it without too much oil. A little bit of butter is not going to kill you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
those
what I would
10
get-
calories by the time you walk down the stairs, it's
I would
gone.
get so
Yeah.
nervous, man, when I was in prep. My mom would make some food in bulk, some of the stuff that I bought, and she would just use a little bit of olive oil and shit like that in there. I'd be like, oh, come on, don't do that.
I know
I need it
exactly what
pure.
I know exactly what you're saying, but that won't hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Well,
That's
a
what
lot of it burns off with cooking anyway.
because let's be
Yeah.
real, when you track your macros, it's never the right amount. You might eat a gram or two extra. You might eat 10 grams extra. You might scoot in a little of this. It's never, when you're even precise, you're probably under, you're probably over.
And I
But
believe-
it's just an estimate to keep you on track. It's not there to be like, you need to eat 100 grams, so you need to count every gram of rice and every gram of protein. No, the point is to eat around that range. And when time is considered to consider stuff like that is when you're 2 weeks out of a competition that you were already shredded and now you're about to be in and out shredded. That's a different level because that's just not natural at that point for a human body to go through.
Right.
So, but anything before that, 8% body fat, that 9, that 10, a little bit of butter is not going to kill you, bro. That's how I really see it, and and that's why I mentioned to all my bodybuilders, hey, yo, bro, I'm 2 weeks out for the show. All right, you got to let me know when you want me to cut your salts. And if you're getting ready for a competition, my best advice is get the bulk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, because you could ensure you're doing your homework, because it comes to that, you have to do your own homework. Like, all right, I need this amount, that amount, this amount, that amount.
That's where it comes to
I was gonna say,
integrity,
what were you
man.
gonna say?
I'm sorry?
That's where it comes to integrity.
Exactly. I
You know
don't
what I
want,
mean?
like I said, I wouldn't want someone to lose their whole, what they've been working for and spending all their money on because I decided to just be like, yeah, go grab my meals. No.
Bro, 23 weeks I prep, man. I prepped for 23 weeks.
It's tough.
It's a long ass prep, man.
Speaking of long preps, I feel fucking terrible for everybody prepping right now.
Oh man, shit just
I know
keeps
somebody who
getting
was
pushed.
prepping for, I think it was 9 months, and he finally called it off. Said, "Fuck, if they just moved the Atlantics."
I have
said,
my boy, he's
"Fuck
doing
this,
the Tampa
he's
Pro.
Evidently, yeah. I had somebody hit me up and say, "Yo, are you gonna be at Tampa?" I said, "I have no plans of going to Tampa."
I had
If-
a friend, well, not a
Who
friend
knows?
of mine, a guy, a bodybuilder that works with me. He orders food. He recommended one of his boys. I think his name is Ja. Shout out to him. Good luck on his little thing going. And he has a show this week down at Tampa. So he just reached out to me, and I was like, "Yo, listen, shout out to you for keeping dedicated to this whole thing." Because
Is Tampa
honestly,
this week?
I'm not sure. Look that up, but I know he was getting ready for it this week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody knows right now what's going on.
No,
With the shows.
exactly.
Keeps
No, but
changing. I don't know. In my opinion, they should have just watched this year. But you know what,
I
guys?
think so too.
Because it's people
It-
running.
that's why I said it becomes a matter of us come first. Forget the shows and the money.
It's people running contest drugs for just another 4 weeks, guys. Then we'll be open up just another 4 weeks.
I feel bad for I feel bad for the amateurs who aren't used to taking that type of shit.
Yeah. But it's people running
It's a tough industry, bro.
contest gear that you should be running for no more than 2 or 3 weeks at
And
a time.
you want to be going hard.
And they're running for 8 months. What the fuck is going to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're not going to get blood work.
Because doctors, it's tough to go get the 100%.
Well, we had Elise on.
Yeah, unless
We
they
got-
go to Elise.
Elise, so she was a guest recently, and she does blood work and she
Shout
does
out to her.
full for real,
Yeah,
full
she's great.
panels and whatnot. She was dope. If I want to get blood work done, I'm gonna get it through her, but
100%. I'm
I'm afraid to get blood taken, so I'm a bitch when it comes to that.
I
But
did-
yeah, I keep seeing the shows get pushed back, and it was great that they pushed the Olympia from September to December because that gives me plenty of time. Hopefully, starting in September to start documenting some of the guys going into it. But I'll tell you what's crazy. On a side note, what's crazy for me is Coliseum Gym is just like open. Have you seen
I
that?
know.
Oh, I heard about that. People told me.
They're
Like,
just
yo,
wide. They're wide open.
Coliseum Gym's just open.
like, yo, come. He's charging $20 a day for a day pass.
Is it $20 a day for a
Yeah,
day pass?
something
I know
like that.
every picture I see from Coliseum Gym, they're just tagged.
Yeah, they're
They don't give a
tagged
fuck.
openly. I know. I mean, I see Arash. I see Sadiq
Sadiq.
posting there. People sending me, yo, what's going on with this gym? Can you get me in there? Can you do this? I don't fucking know.
You
I'm
just
not
knock
going.
on the door.
To me, bro, I was invited actually personally by the owner. Oh, well, someone gave me the owner's number who's very close with him. Like,
Shabir?
Huh?
Shabir?
Who, the owner?
No.
No.
One of the kids that works there, Shabir. He's
Shabibi.
I
No.
love Shabir. He's
Yeah,
the homie.
yeah. He's a good dude.
It wasn't Shabir, but someone was like, yo, come on in. I'll connect you with the owner, but you'll pay $25 a day. I was like, listen, bro, I'm not spending $100 a week to work out 3 days.
Well,
That's
yeah,
not
I mean,
It's crazy.
it winds up being country club prices.
Yeah, I'd rather come out this quarantine looking like a frail toothpick than spend $100 a week. I'd rather put that in my money, flip that 100. As you see, people are getting into stock. Shout out to them as well.
Yeah.
All that Robinhood app things.
Yeah, everybody's on that shit. I'm so
Yeah.
much of a pussy to be doing that. I try to muster the courage. Like, I know I've heard some people making bank.
I mean,
But you have to. But how many losses did you go through before you made bank?
when it comes to stock, one is luck if you're gonna buy one of those small stocks that shoot up out of nowhere, and then two, you need money to make money.
Yeah. When I was living in the city, I was limit trading pretty much every day. Like I would set a buy, set a sell, go to the gym, train my clients, come home, and usually it's sold because I wasn't being greedy with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was going great, but it was really just gambling based on the charts I was reading.
It is. It really is.
You know what I
I was studying for my Series 7. I took
Mhm.
my the Series 7 test and everything. So puts, options, and all that. I'm very familiar with stocks, but it's like you said, it's a gamble.
Always.
Yeah,
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what you're falling into. What you looking up there,
I
Rizzles?
got over there.
Coffee is just fucking everywhere today. It's like on the floor. It's up top. I'm trying to look up that pro schedule. I'm trying to see. If they're gonna give me a updated. Here it is. Vancouver. We ain't going there. Wings of Strength. That's Puerto Rico. Tampa. Tampa is July 31st to August 1st.
So it's coming up.
So maybe
Yeah,
he's,
so that's
he's
it.
getting to his
He's
peak.
getting ready
his peak,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me if I'm going to that. No. No, I have no intention of going down there. I'm only going places that I know is going to be good for business and monetarily, and also just advancing my career forward.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling's tough right now, man. Like I said, you try not to be skeptical because you want to live your life and just do your thing.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you kind of have to. I'm gonna get crammed into an airplane with a bunch of other people right this second. You know, I don't mind being around people that have kind of been in New York. You haven't left New York. You've been here the whole time.
I've been here the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the worst is over for the most part for New York.
Mhm.
If think about it, a lot of people have already been infected and exposed to it, especially in Long Island and the tri-state area. My whole standpoint on it is, if you haven't left the state, I don't really have to worry too much about you. But I got friends that went to South Carolina for a little while for like a weekend trip, went to Arizona, went to Florida, and then you're gonna come back and you just went, oh, yo, you want to hang out tomorrow? You want to work out in your garage tomorrow? No, not really.
Yeah.
Not really. Why don't you? You know, that's the type of shit where I'm like, take that 1 to 2 week quarantine a little seriously.
And you never know.
Because you've been on a plane, you've been around people. When I go down to Florida to film, I'm not gonna be around nobody for 2 weeks. We'll have to pre-record fucking episodes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fuck. My worst fear about this is I get someone sick.
100
I'm the one
Bro.
that brings the virus to other people, and I get like 20 people
Some
sick.
case in Jersey, because obviously he was Egyptian, so obviously my parents, Egyptian community, they all relate. One guy, his son came home with it and he didn't know. The
That's
son
what I'm
didn't even
saying.
know he had it, and the father got sick and died.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what
Because that sucks.
Yeah.
That as a son, you have to live your life. You didn't even get sick. He didn't even get sick, but he didn't know he had it because he was asymptomatic, and then the poor father had to end up. You know what I'm saying? Losing his life.
Yeah,
Khabib. If you guys are familiar
Yeah,
with
with the,
fighting,
MMA?
Khabib, his father,
Yeah.
he just lost his father due to COVID.
Really?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that sucks,
the
bro.
Russian cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russian cat, the guy that beat Conor, the
Damn.
official beast, Nurmagomedov.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
Nurmagomedov.
not gonna
Whatever.
touch that.
Yeah.
So, with a 10-foot
he,
pole, son.
he's a beast, wrestling with bears from like 6 years old, but lost his father to
I don't fuck with
COVID.
Russians, man. The Russians scare the shit out of me.
I'll be exact. I don't fuck with Chechnyans, and he's from Chechnya. Dagestan,
Chechnyans?
they're tough, bro.
Russians
They do not play.
Russians are tough.
Just look at it this: they made their own independence from Russia. They have to be one tough. If you get your
Yeah, no
independence from
kidding.
Russia, you're tough.
Oh, damn.
The only two countries that basically did that was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was Chechnya and Afghanistan. And the only reason why Afghanistan, because Afghanistan had the abilities to maneuver the mountains, which was giving the problems to Russia. But that's why
Yeah.
everybody wants that land, because the where it's located. It's located in
It's tough to
between
get to.
Iran. It's located between Russia. And
Mm.
then for the U.S., that's a perfect place to base.
Yeah.
And and how it's above both. So
I'd like to see Russia, but then there's a side of me that just goes, I could wait a little while.
I would love to see Russia. I would just
look
go
at some
there.
pictures.
To me, when I
don't want to go anywhere that they're not fan of Americans, which is kind of a lot of places.
if we look at it, France were not fans of Americans.
Dude, France loved me, dude.
But it's at the end of the day, and this is what I tell everybody, they're not a fan of American, but doesn't mean they're not a fan of you.
Yeah.
Because you're a great person. You know what I'm saying? And so are you. So we have different personalities, and we're not there to be like, hey, fuck you, I'm American. Some people
be like that.
Some people
and
come
they
in
ruin for everybody.
and they ruin it for everybody. I go, and when they see that I'm American, they're like, yo, wow, that's dope. But I explain to them, like, well, listen, we move different. I'm not, and sometimes I'll be real with you. I don't tell people I'm American. I'll tell people I'm a New Yorker. Yeah. We're labeled different as New Yorkers. We're respected way more.
They act as hustlers, tough.
Yeah, so they see us like, wow, New York City, blah, blah, blah. So at the end of the day, like when you go there, you're there for their culture. So you got to go, you're in their turf. You respect their turf and you respect what their culture and what and their norms and what they're new to. And then that's how you make peace.
Well, when I went, I was still in college and I spoke a little bit of French.
Mm-hmm. So tu m'appelles français.
Je parle un peu le français. Just like a little bit. So basically when I was going around, you'd have kids that were trying to get directions from people and they were trying to speak French, but they were being assholes about it, like giggling, laughing, like not taking it seriously. And then they would turn to me and go, Nick, can you ask this person for directions? And I'd come up and I'd say, sorry, could you just, I speak a little bit of French. Can you help me out? Blah, blah, blah. Instantly, you'd see the whole mood change. Oh, yeah, of course, I'll help you.
Bro, I'm telling you, when I went to Morocco, I speak Arabic fluently, so...
Stupid question. Morocco, Casablanca, right?
Yeah, okay. Casablanca, yeah. So, which means White House.
Oh, that's gangster.
If you look in Spanish, Casablanca, House of White. So, and which is the capital. But
the most I know about Casablanca is from like one food channel show and John Wick 3.
John Wick 3, yeah.
Just murdering each other in the streets.
So when I went to Morocco, I was talking to the locals. Yo, bro, when I'm telling you they loved me so much that they were like, yo, I would pay you $1,000 a week to come work here because my personality and how I was, like hustling with people and like, yo, blah, blah, blah. It's all about personality. It's not about where you're from. It's all about you as a person.
Well, listen, that's what we were talking about my boy Julio last week on the podcast, past Saturday. We were talking to him about, just dealing with different people and how crazy it is. Like I went to school up in Connecticut. I went to Quinnipiac, and they would about 15, 20 minutes south, you'd go to New Haven. New Haven's rough, man. Tons of gang members.
Yeah, 100%.
That. But like you said, energy. You walk past me and you just go, what's going on, man? Have a great day. Stuff like that. Just being cordial to one another. I'm not saying that that'll always work because there are always going to be bad people and they may just look at that as like a weakness or something like, something around that. But for me, you just respect people. You don't look at them differently. You respect their culture. You respect what they're about.
They'll respect you.
Yeah. I'm no challenger to you. Exactly. You're no challenger to me. We're just all cool.
And I'm a big believer on energy, bro. It's all about energy. If you're giving me if you're giving the universe a positive energy, you're getting that back.
Yeah.
And only good will happen. Obviously, you're gonna have your bad, but you always gotta think positive, and then that's when the positive returns. But if you're gonna be a fucking shitty person, you're gonna expect shitty. If you're gonna wake up, sometimes we wake up like, fuck, man, I don't feel well. I'm gonna have a shitty day. You already spoke that shit in existence.
Yeah.
Doubt is way stronger than anything else. When you start doubting shit into existence, it automatically now revolves your whole day around. You know what? You will have a shitty day. That happens to me sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm having a shitty day. But you know what? I look back, I'm like, yo, thank God I'm alive. So even though I'm still having a shitty day, I try to make the best out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I have those one days, like one day I was cooking, and I had those one days where I burnt something. And then after I burnt something, I cut my finger pretty deep. And then after that, I had just made some fresh batch of shrimp, and it was on a big freaking, it was 30 pounds, and I dropped the whole thing on the floor.
And shrimp is not cheap,
And shrimp is not cheap. And I had to, and to me, like, my workers was like, yo, kitchen hack. Wash it and just drop it back in the heat and it's gonna be fine. To me, I was like, nah, bro. I just gotta, with everything fucking going on now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta. Don't expect if you go to a high-end restaurant that piece of filet mignon before you get it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm saying, bro. You don't know what Jimmy over there was rubbing before. I'm just saying. So kitchen hacks. There's a lot of kitchen hacks. So to me, it was just like, nah, I just got to take the loss on that.
That's where the samples come from.
Yeah, literally. So I had
the chef wanted to give you this compliment to the house,
or the guy that sends back his piece of steak because it's too raw. Oh man, everybody gets a little turn on it. Yo, fuck him.
Like Waiting, the movie Waiting,
bro. Literally, that's how it is. Oh, tell the chef that this shit tasted like shit. The chef will be like, I'll give you something better on the house. He makes sure he's digging deep through the dumpster for you to eat. That's why I don't fuck with cooks. If something's bad, just to me, to anyone, if I'm going out to eat and anyone's cooking my meal, I make sure I make them happy.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's being put in there.
You just don't go back if it's bad.
Yeah. 100%.
Simple as that.
David Meltzer, he's a motivational speaker guy. He's boys with Josh York. When I shot Josh York's conference last year for Gym Guys, he took me out to Arizona, and David Meltzer was one of the speakers there. And I had seen him. He's like one of the gurus, you see on Instagram. And one of the cool things that he said was, you have to get into this mindset of thankfulness. Every morning you wake up, say thank you. It's hard for me because I wake up and I go to sleep so many times. Like I'll kind of, it takes me probably about 45 minutes to half hour to really wake up. So I'll wake up, I'll check on the dog, and I'll fall back asleep. I'll wake up, check on the dog, fall back asleep. If I see he starts to get antsy, that's when I really wake up and take him out. But I got to start reminding myself to say thank you when I wake up. And his other big point is, instead of just saying, I have to do this, you say, I get to do this. And it's everything becomes work. Your cooking becomes work. Me shooting videos and having to edit, trust me, man, sometimes it's work. Sometimes it's really hard and it's really...
Trust me, I run a soccer podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Man, shout out to you, man.
Listen, man.
It's tough.
And
we're editing and all
we're trying to get clips out. We're trying to do things. We're really trying to get on this grind even more so. We want to start doing, we've been saying it since we started a couple weeks ago, we want to do an episode a week with just him and I. We got to form some type of a content package that we're going to be talking about other than the virus, because we could talk about the virus with guests, but after a while, it's the same shit. You don't want to hear about it.
You don't want to hear about it at all.
Nobody wants to fucking hear about that shit after a while.
I think we had a good talk without the virus.
Yeah, no,
we started off a little bit.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, everything becomes work no matter what. Something that you love can be work, and it is work. But instead of saying, I have to do this, I get to do this. I'm fortunate. I got to look back. I got to look on myself. Even though business is really slow right now and things are starting to pick back up, and I'm having more conversations about shoots going on and when things are going to open back up fully and when I can do this, when I can do that. Who else? In what other position would I be able to take the dog to the office, bring him around with me everywhere I go, hang out with him, be able to have a gym in my garage and work out there in the middle of the day right now?
100%.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to.
It's a blessing that people tend to forget that we have.
I get to have my own business, and it's scary, and there's not a lot of money coming in right this second, but I know things will change, and it's going to take some time. Eventually, everything that goes down comes back up.
Don't give up on the dream, though.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the dream, honestly, the dream is to just be self-sufficient still.
100%.
After I've been like this, and I know John can reciprocate this, I can't go and work for somebody. I can freelance for people. I can work for companies, but still have my own shit going. But for me to
once you become an entrepreneur, it's so tough to go.
Holy shit, dude!
You know what's funny? A stupid little thing that really drove me in entrepreneurship is the fucking name game. When you work a new job, they go, all right, everybody say your name and say something about
Apple
you.
is, dude.
Right?
Oh.
That shit drove me fucking bananas. I'm like, I'm not great with names, so you're the tall one, and you like something. Fuck you people. I'm opening my own gym.
Literally. Dude, like you said, the best thing to me, and I was having this conversation too with my best friend. He has a cleaning service. Shout out to my boy Sloth. His name is Hector Lasso. He has a cleaning services where he provides commercial spaces, comes in and he cleans. So we were talking about this whole entrepreneurship game, and he mentioned, he's like, yo, Omar, the thing is, people think we're fucking rich. Like, oh, he owns his own business. He's fucking rich. Oh, he owns a gym. Wow, he's loaded.
They have no clue.
They have no clue.
No clue.
That we probably make less than them.
Yeah.
And the only good thing that we have over them is the fact that we make our own fucking schedule.
Make our own schedule.
That's literally what I love about working for myself. I was making $80K a year as a chef, right?
Bro, I was in line to work as a manager at Apple, and they make up almost $100,000 a year. Managers at a retail store.
Sheesh. Now look at that. And I was making about $80K a year as a chef. Come in, do my 11 to 6:30 or 7 o'clock. And that was it. That was my day. But bro, I hated every single minute of it. It made me to the extent hate cooking. Yeah. But what I do now, I love everything that I'm doing. I get to experiment. I get to see people happy. It's two different fields. You know what I'm saying?
And when people are out there counting your money as an entrepreneur, They don't count your expenses.
They don't count
If
that.
you're
If someone calls out on you, you're getting fucked, and you
Mhm.
got to do quadruple the work. They don't count that fucking. You got to get up in the middle of the night because something was forgotten, or if a fucking fridge breaks down and you got to pay $1,000 out of pocket. No one sees that.
And then rent.
Rent,
Insurance.
people.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
that's overhead, and
Exactly.
I get, I've had people hit me up before, and they hit me up for a video, whatnot, and they'll say, oh, well, I need this many pictures done, I need this drone work done, I need this video for, and the budget is, let's just say sub $500, which $500 for something like that is still too low, and I just look at them, and I say, well, how do you think all this happens? You think that my business insurance just pays for itself? You think the actual office
Speaking
space
of that, I have people that hit me up like, "Hey, I get my meal prep from so and so, and he charges me $5 per meal."
Well, that's what I get told too.
Yeah. There you go.
Then why are we having this conversation?
And I'm just like,
Go back to your guy.
I'm like, bro, no offense, shout out to him, but I'm on a certain, and I completely understand them. They want to save a penny, and listen, that's
Money
the
is
game.
money.
Money's
Yeah.
money.
But at the same time, you're not going to eat.
And I'm like, bro, I get different quality stuff, so my prices vary.
Mhm.
If I'm charging you $5 a meal, then I'm basically making no money. So there's no point of me providing you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's no point of me being available to work. I was like, but if he's doing that for you, listen, man, go shoot for it.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Everybody gets different type of meats. Everybody gets different type of things. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna lower my standards to
Exactly.
please.
And it's for me. Oh well, that trainer charges less. Yeah, but you're still not in shape.
And then people, when they're like,
You know what I
so
mean?
then they go like, all right, well, I'm on a budget. What can you work for me? That's a different story.
Mhm.
Well, if you're on a budget, this is the best I could do for you. Take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? That's when I come and work with people. But do not come with me on a budget and expect to get 10 pounds of flank steak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yo, I need this, but
That's usually what I start out with. And as somebody that's worked with me, my biggest thing that I start out with when I talk to people is, what is your budget?
and that's when I worked with you. I was like, yo, listen,
I could do this.
I want the best in the game.
Thank
So
you.
I literally told him, I was like, yo, I want the best in the game. So I'm gonna give you whatever it is, and this is what I could do it. And if that's fine with you, let's get this going. And,
Yeah.
and that's how we got it
And
going.
I said it, as long as it's fair for both of us, I'm cool with it. And
Exactly.
that's
So
what I try.
that's my thing. Like, I don't want to leech, but at the same time, let's be reasonable. Like, all right, I'm not a fucking millionaire. You know what I'm saying? So,
And it wasn't just one shoot; it was multiple.
Multiple
so that,
shoots.
that
Yeah.
and that makes it okay for me.
and we got along with each other. Had fun.
gelled
good
exactly as I
food.
wanted.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
Vegan jambalaya shouts.
But don't come in asking for a favor and an attitude. You know what I mean?
That's what drives me nuts.
I had a guy who wanted me to do this is a couple years ago. Actually, no, it's not a couple. Maybe 1 year ago.
Mhm.
I had a kid who I know referred me to somebody else that does real estate. He said, my boy told me that, you got a drone and you're good, you're nice with it, blah, blah, blah. I need you to come to Queens. I need drone video, drone photos. What would you charge me? And I factored it all in, hour travel from my house. This is before I had the office. Hour travel from my house,
Equipment.
hour
blah,
back,
blah.
equipment, time to shoot, time to edit. And then I send him the package. And his response was I'm not shocked anymore when I get responses that are a rebuttal where people just want to argue. But his response was just so off-putting. Well, my other guy does it for $200. I said, okay. I said, why are we having this conversation then? Why don't you hit your other guy up?
And what he say?
No, well, he said, well, your friend said you did it for this last time. And that was me hooking a friend up. And I went, wow. So then I tried to have a conversation with that friend after this. You don't discuss my prices with anybody. What I give you is me and you. You don't talk to anybody and say, Nick did this for me. Maybe he could do it for you. Wouldn't even answer the phone. So he knew he fucked up. And he wasn't like a best friend. He's just an acquaintance kind of kid.
Mhm.
I know him through people. But it's just, and then the kid keeps going back and forth to me. Well, I find it. I said, dude, there's nothing else to talk about. Hit your other guy up. If you have a project that you have more of a budget on,
Mhm.
you hit me up.
Hey,
You let me
yeah,
know.
exactly.
We'll work something out. But for my time and what I'm going to do on this project, it equals this. And if you can't do that,
Have a nice day.
have a great one.
Yeah.
I am not offended. It is what it is. Everybody has different price ranges. And just as I do, I have to set my prices certainly and accordingly for how much gear and equipment and experience I bring to the shoot. And just some people just can't get that. They don't understand it. They don't understand because a lot of these people, they work a 9 to 5. So they get their paycheck every 2 weeks. No matter what happens, they just show up for work. Unless they get fired or unless something drastically changes, they show up, they get paid. We don't have that luxury as entrepreneurs, and that's fine for me.
They get paid time off.
They get paid time off. They get vacation. They get benefits. I don't have fucking health insurance. I haven't had health insurance since 2018. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that people don't realize as being an entrepreneur. You're out there, man. You are literally out there. And like you said, everyone thinks that you're rich or whatever.
This is how I'm paying my damn bills, bro.
Listen,
I tell people, like, I need to pay rent.
How many years?
My house rent.
How many years on average would you say a small business can expect to be in the green? 5 to probably 7.
Yeah, it totally depends on the business.
Of course.
If you break even for 5 years, you're a successful
bro,
business.
I was about to break even, pay off all my debt, all my business debt that I started this company with in May. About to pay it all off. And then the virus fucked me. I was on track for 2 months to pay off everything. And then it just fucked me. Now you have to take a step back as a business owner and just sit there and go, you got to continue weathering the storm. And eventually it'll bounce back. I saw yesterday a photographer on the news. He's doing FaceTime photo shoots. This was the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life. He has them scope the room out, and then while he's on FaceTime, he's hitting the shutter button while they're posing. I'm like, who's paying you for this?
That's a weird one.
Like
people pay for it.
That's the crazy shit to me. It's like, I get reinventing yourself and whatnot, but as a photographer, videographer, you have to be in person.
You have to.
You got to be around people. You have to
see
build the set. You got to talk. You got to feel the emotions. Maybe you don't have to be with 10 people, but you have to be with somebody.
100%. You
can't just be by yourself.
1,000%.
So like I said, for the time being, I was about to be breaking even at 2 years, and I was about to be so fucking amped and just ready to just start scaling and hiring some people and getting things going. But now, got to kind of pump the brakes, pull back a little bit, and now we have to reanalyze and see what we have to do.
Back to the drawing boards. That's what it comes down to.
I was in the same spot with the gym. I was about to be not breaking even, but I was about to be in the green, and nope.
Listen,
COVID, not allowed to open.
But you probably have a system of training that's going to be beneficial to people when this shit opens back up.
Well, the Dorian shit.
True. Yeah, that's fantastic. Problem is, people open back up, and like I said, I'm fortunate enough to be able where we'll be able to weather the storm. It's going to suck, but we'll be able to stay in business when this is all over. People aren't working. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. When people hit me up for food, I'm like...
Private coaching is...
very difficult.
It's a luxury, though. It's people paying X amount an hour that can afford it when a lot of people aren't working anymore. You know what I mean?
Wait, so...
It's the same thing you're going to be going through.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was already hard enough fighting tooth and nail with certain people that wanted to work with me but couldn't afford it. And then I'm, going back and forth. What can you afford? What can we do? What can we do? A lot. I've pushed more towards working with companies anyway, because the issue with working with independent people, if it's a company and they have like independent people in charge of the little shoots that they need, nobody knows what the fuck they want.
Exactly.
They want me to be the social media strategist. They want me to be the marketing team. They want me to be the shooter. They want me to be the editor. And they want me to do all of it. For me, I like working with companies because they have a vision. And together we sit there and we brainstorm. And we say, hey, based on all of this.
And they have freaking money.
And they have budgets. I mean, that's why it was nice working with Under Armour. That's why it was nice working with a lot of the supplement companies.
It's a business that they know they need your service to be
They understand what they're getting involved with. They understand the quality that I'm going to bring. I'm not going to skimp on things. Dude, listen, man, I have a shoot this coming weekend. One of my stabilizers that I bought isn't really that great. It never has been. I have a big one, a double-handed one, but I'm about to spend more money and get another stabilizer that I need for this shoot. I'm always going to make sure that I have the proper gear for a shoot. I don't sit there and just say, fuck it, I'll just do it like this. No, man. You're working with me 120%. I don't play that game. That's why me and you talking.
No, 100%.
Off hours, right? I know a lot of people that, if they're not on the clock per se, they're not talking to the client. Me, what I tell you when we first started working, I'm not trying to gas myself up, but I said, yo, day and night, you got my cell phone number? Hit me up.
I'm the same.
You got an idea? Yeah. You want to know something? I was sending you videos and shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Food ideas.
And we'd go back and forth.
It's a collaboration
method.
method.
How's Kenji? He's good.
Yeah, man. It's a collaboration method. We're a team. And together, we're bringing out the content for your company to excel.
And that's what I tell everybody, with your business, how you, every time you're branding, you're getting better with this, you're getting better with that. It's like being a president, bro. If you're a president of something, you need a cabinet. You need good people, a good team under you, and you brainstorm those ideas. And like you said, that's me with every vendor. All right, listen, I'm going to need 50 pounds of steak. I want to work with you. I like your product more. What's the best you could do for me? And I'll come back every week. All right, boom, let's do this. Yeah, all right, this week, yo, listen, I'm on a budget this week. I want to make a little bit of extra money. What do you got extra steak in the building that I could buy off of you? Well, I have this. I'll sell it to you at that price. That's when ideas start kicking off and we work together. But it's definitely something that we get to see a lot as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
would say it's a roller coaster ride.
It's on, but it's a fun ride.
Right?
It's a crazy ride that the average person simply will never understand.
Oh, exactly.
They're just used to their 9 to 5, clocking in, clocking out, going home, watching TV.
One day they'll figure it all out. One day they'll figure it all out.
When they gotta really fend for themselves like wolves.
Exactly.
Luckily, we've had the training.
Yeah.
Exactly. We grew into the fangs all nice and healthy right now.
Oh man,
It was always a hustle.
They're like Kenji's canines. My man's still out.
He's been knocked out for 2 hours.
How dope is he?
That's so dope.
He's dope.
Yeah.
He's dope. He's the podcast dog, man. He just chills.
Yeah, he just knocked the hell out.
Talk to me, man. What's the next move for Ossskiii? You gonna keep scaling up,
Yeah.
baby?
I mean, that's definitely.
I know you're bringing out tons of new ideas.
I'm bored, so I've been brainstorming so much. So I've been trying to. My biggest thing right now is trying to get the dessert options, the breakfast options.
Cool.
My goal is to open up Jersey, get to deliver to people in Jersey. So there's definitely a lot going on that scale. I also want to start my own little fat boy business.
Love it.
So like a nice, I don't
French
know.
toast cannoli.
Yeah. Burger. Mix that together now.
Now, hold on a second.
Yeah, so it's just getting crazy with the fat boy stuff. So you get to mix your cheat day with your
meal.
healthy-
Yeah.
But I would need a spot for that because you just can't have a cheat day refrigerated. To
Yeah,
go.
nah.
Yeah, no.
If you want a nice burger, you pull up to the spot, have the burger on the spot. That the best thing about it, freshness. So I'm brainstorming ideas. So when all this COVID is over and then you're ready to set in stone, get it going. So it's the cooking game is about to expand a little more.
That's dope, man.
Yeah,
That's
I've
fucking
been
awesome.
watching too much Crazy Delicious on Netflix. You guys should watch that show if you guys like food.
It's called Crazy Delicious.
It's insane.
I'm a peep it.
It made me
Yeah.
rethink my whole life as cooking. Like I need to step my game up.
I'll peep
They
it.
give you a product like here's a banana, make a dish.
Make a
with it.
dish, yeah.
Go nuts.
It's
The
like-
only thing I'd be able to make is bananas Foster.
Bro. I'll make you a banana cereal. Slice up some bananas. Throw it on the-
banana a la carte.
Bro, some people were making a banana taco with banana puree. I was like, oh, shout out to her. She made a
Yeah.
taco. Oh, fuck. I was like,
They take
fuck
thinking
that.
outside the box to a new level.
Banana sushimi. Just got
Literally, they just came up with crazy shit. Some dude roasted a whole watermelon and made a Caribbean jerk out of a watermelon and some. I was like, bro, goddamn.
So Crazy Delicious, send the check.
Say,
Yeah,
Crazy
no
Delicious,
kidding.
send the fucking check.
Send the food.
And Ossskiii. if people want to order food from you,
Yeah,
what plug yourself? What do you?
Ossskiieats.com. And that's OSSKIII because I know it sounds a little complicated. It's just 3 S's and 3 I's.
There we go.
So that's what it is.
And what are the deliveries? When's the cutoff date?
Sunday cutoff day is Thursday 11 p.m. Just with COVID, there's a lot of times that I'm short some food, so I need to refund people. So I have just enough time to get the money back to people.
Cool.
But as of now, I've yet to face that problem. But
Knock on wood.
Yeah, no
But
kidding.
it's been good. So Thursday 11 o'clock p.m. Your food comes to your door Sunday afternoon. Package,
Fire.
ice packs, everything. Yeah,
Dope.
so
Delivered by yours truly. So you get to see this
Sometimes.
beautiful mug right here.
I'm not that bad looking in person.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
man.
It was a pleasure. For
Absolute
me.
fucking pleasure.
Awesome to
Thank
have
you
you on.
guys so much, man. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna have John, the voice Panetti, kick this outro for us.
So, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in this week's episode of The Voice.
And Rizzles, joined by my man.
Ossskiii.
Let's go, kid.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Peace.